Blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, you'll be pleased to know, after the last bout of rain, my yellow lights, I've now got some purple, some red, and most of them are yellow, the LED, so I think they're all on the way out now in the shed.
Yeah, it looks like it. I can see them.
The first bout of rain since we did this shed, I found a leak. And then with it today and yesterday, absolutely hammering it down. No leak. Bitumen paint.
They do tend to close themselves up, so...
Oh, I covered the area with bitumen paint.
That'll do it.
And myself. And my trainers, and my shirt, and my trousers. And almost the children. But
you are candid like that.
I am. Oh, right. Do, 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 do.
What are you doing? You're getting fat. So what's happening? Hello, everyone.
Good evening, all. Welcome to the Tuesday Live. We're back doing it every Tuesday, almost every Tuesday. When I'm on call, I'm not doing it, which is 1 week and 4 currently. But this week is like the first Tuesday in the new shed. And I thought it only fitting to have one of the legends of the hobby, which is Tim Baxter, come join us. Oh, yeah. With the new accolade of BTS Bad Boy.
Yeah, I'm getting quite a lot of stick for that. Thanks.
I've only seen that one little bit of stick.
Yeah, I haven't.
But well, I suppose we'll get around to that in a couple of minutes. First, George, I don't know if you would like to introduce yourself, what you do, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm almost like Tim, but not as successful. I'm a scorpion breeder.
And definitely not as tall.
No, Tim is like 7'6", and I'm like 5'9". So there you go.
Good things come in small packages.
That's what I keep telling my girlfriend.
So for you guys at home, so when it comes to scorpions, with scorpion knowledge, Tim's here and George is here. Literally, both an absolute goldmine of information. So if you've got any questions about scorpions or anything like that, if you see these guys around the internet on Facebook and such like, drop them a message, or indeed give them some messages. Give them some messages in the comments a little bit later on. God, Tim, it's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a few months. Quite a bit's happened. A few breedings. Not much dropping baby-wise, but I do have at least 10, 15 babies ready to drop.
Oh.
Different species. I've got flat rocks. I have desert hairies. I have nebos. I have Achilles. I have several species of Asian forest scorpion. They're all fat as hell, just taking the sweet time in dropping.
With the Asian forest,
yes,
because we all think they just get it on and then suddenly they have babies. From pairing to giving birth, how long is that roughly for the Asian forest scorpions, or is it different depending on which scorpion it is?
It varies greatly.
They do, Amy.
It varies with how they're kept, how much they're fed. On a good day, you're looking 8-9 months. Emperors are roughly 8-9 months gestation. They can take longer. They do prefer it a lot warmer than most of the species, so you have to take into account that if you're keeping everything at the same temperature. But yeah, it's a waiting game with scorpions. It always is. There's no quick way around it.
Quick question. George, could you please share your link in the chat?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Not your OnlyFans one, George.
Damn it, why not?
I've just dropped his Facebook in there as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
What's the name of the scorpion group?
Scorpion Hobbyists UK.
Yeah.
Whew, it's warm in here.
What's the temp
There
in
you
your
go.
shed? Tim?
29.7.
28.2. And I'm sweating. Absolutely sweating. Hey, Leah.
Ditto. I was thinking of sitting
Absolutely.
here in just my underwear, but not before 9 o'clock.
We would never know.
I'm t-shirt and boxer shorts, me. I walked down the garden and Tara was like, where are you going?
All the
I've got
neighbours
live
twitching
feed
at the
to do.
window. He's doing it again. He keeps going into that building in his
The
pants.
fat bloke from next door, half naked in the garden again. What's he doing in that shed?
The shed with the windows covered up.
That strange glowing light from around the curtains and under the door.
What's the best way to feed my tiny scorpions? Tiny food. But scorpions will tackle prey as big as themselves. I tell this to everybody. 2 centimetre scorpion will tackle a 2 centimetre cricket. Anything that's got a decent set of jaws on it, locusts, mealworm, anything like that, I'd always pre-kill. Just give their head a little squish with a pair of tweezers, drop them in. Baby scorpions are very good at foraging and picking over dead things. So it doesn't have to be live food for scorpions.
If you put 2 centimetre prey in with a 2 centimetre scorpion, the scorpion kills it.
Yep.
It's not going to eat all that prey, is it?
Usually not, but you will be surprised how much these tiny little things eat. They'd rather eat one good meal, get bloated, and then not eat for 6 months than have food every single week. That's how scorpions operate. They're very, very opportunistic feeders. They don't need regimented feeding times or anything like that. I've covered this before on the last live. I have 7 Opisthocanthus aspers. I've had them nearly 2 years now, and I've fed them once in 2 years, and they're still fat sausages.
John says Tim and George on the same stream. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, well, I've been asking forever, but he's always busy.
The job.
What
Busy
do you do
watering
for
and
work, George?
feeding the masses.
Huh?
What do you
Busy
do for
watering
work?
and feeding the masses.
I work at a day center for adults with learning difficulties. I'm a manager there. So I manage that place and all the scorpions behind me.
Love you for what you do, brother. Appreciate that.
And there is a
I
lot
worked
of scorpions behind him.
I worked in domiciliary care for several years.
Oh, did you? How'd you find it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, people pass away at an earlier age, and I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason there's more women in the care industry than men, and that's because men we're just not strong enough to handle it most of the time.
Thanks, Connor.
Thank you, Tim and George, for the hard work you put into your Facebook group. I don't normally post on there, but just so much information for newcomers and never any judgment for silly questions. Yeah, that's the thing. I've been to a few scorpion forums and separate Facebook groups, and there's a lot of criticism with newcomers because they generally ask the same question: can you sex this scorpion? Can you ID the scorpion? My scorpion's given birth. What do I do? And it's usually met with quite a bit of hostility.
Yeah, but at the very least, ridicule.
Yeah, I'd like to think, even without me and Tim in question, the people in the group are generally very friendly. And
yeah, definitely.
I'm surprised with how much they've grown as well. They know quite a bit. They're answering questions that I didn't think they'd be able to answer. So well done to everyone in the group.
I think one of the responses to is my scorpion gravid, is my invert doing this, is my invert doing that, what's wrong with my invert, is always in the comments. There's always you should have done your research, and it's and for me it's like they're asking the question. That is their research.
Absolutely.
Why don't you understand?
Yeah. It's all research. Everybody's got to learn. Some people learn quicker. Obviously, people have been doing it longer than a lot of people, and I'd rather impart that knowledge on first timers than make a mistake and lose the scorpion and then think, well, can't be. But the other one died, so I'm just not going to bother.
Exactly.
I mean, the more people will get keeping these animals, the more people were likely to get breeding, and that for me and George as well is our number one goal. Is just to get as many people as we can captive breeding them, like there are tarantulas.
Yeah, you guys have got the tarantula hobby like set. How many breeders are there in the UK alone? Everyone's a breeder.
Well, you've got one on screen. You've got Chris on screen. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, all four of us have worked alongside one of the biggest breeders in the UK. You know, which is rad. No doubt, there's a fair few in the comments. Also, there's tons and tons and tons of people breeding spiders.
Yeah, but who's breeding scorpions?
I think the thing is with the scorpions. A couple of years ago, it was desert hares or Asian forests. Yeah, and then definitely. like yourselves, you George, and obviously yourself Tim, come along, and then suddenly there's another scorpion and another species and another species, and I think some of the shops have reflected in kind of getting a few more different species of scorpion in as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then when you see the posts and you see the energy on those posts of yourselves again, you know, with a different species or pairing a different species or pairing a species where most of us are going, what the and how what wow, you know. I think it's just broadened everybody's mind, and I've seen it for 100%. The increase in scorpion.
Hi, Oliver, you're right. Yeah. So Tim's wife calls me his second husband because we talk quite a bit.
Nice. So I shouldn't be feeding my baby scorpions every week or every other week.
You can
necessarily you can feed them as much as they will eat. Just don't be surprised. We get a lot of people asking us, I've tried feeding it this week and the scorpions refused. Is there something wrong? We get that quite a bit now. No, there's nothing wrong with your baby scorpion if it doesn't want to eat. It's just not hungry. It's not like a tarantula where the abdomen can just keep expanding and expanding. Scorpions are limited on size because they've got a hard, tough exoskeleton right the way around them. They've only got so much give. If it looks plump, don't even waste your time feeding it.
I think that's where my wife might be going wrong because I look plump, but she keeps on feeding me. And I'm like the spider. My belly's just getting bigger and bigger. Lisa said, when scorpions are in molt and they get stuck, are you allowed to help them out? And what's the best way? I think that's more like if a scorpion gets stuck in its molt, what can we do to support them to get out of that molt?
Not a great deal. Normally, if you start interfering, the scorpion loses appendages, legs, tail, claws, and they do not grow back on a scorpion. Scorpions don't regenerate legs like spiders. I've got some in my care that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Handicapped, and George has too. You know, scorpions that have lost claws to bad molts. The only thing you can really do is give it a light spray, increase the humidity around it. Even if it's a desert species, just a really, really light mist, just to raise the humidity, because obviously if it's humid, the shell or the exoskeleton softens ever so slightly and you've got more chance of it freeing itself. But normally I would just leave it, let nature run its course, unfortunately.
Amy, Night Owl Crystals and Creatures over from TikTok says, I thought they regenerated.
Nope. I've yet to see it. I've lost legs, tails, tips of tails, claws. Scorpions can usually get by with just one claw. I've got several in here that have managed really well feeding. I've not tried pairing them yet. I know George has got a Pandipalpus caviminus. Oh no, sorry, it's Pandinus, isn't it? Caviminus, the cave claw.
Pandinoids.
That's the one. It changes that much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's better for changing labels, to be honest. But yeah, that should be an interesting pair. With it being a female, everything should be all right because it's the male that does the grasping. But
Yeah,
we
if the
shall
male
see.
had lost the claw, I'd be a bit worried, but the female should be fine. She's the most active scorpion I have as well. With one claw, she's constantly digging every day anyway, so it shouldn't impact them too much.
Yeah, same as my glabifrons. She lost a claw in the last moult, and she feeds like a trooper. Really, really active. Really, it's amazing how they manage to adapt. You know, with it'd be like one of us losing an arm. You know, you just overcome and carry on.
Congrats, Nessa. I think what we're going to ask them, just following on from the moults with scorpions, is literally a beginner question, which is, what signs are we looking for a scorpion coming up to molt? What can we do as like preemptive measures if we see that scorpion coming up to a molt as well as?
The first signs are usually refusing food. The second signs it will spend a lot of time at the bottom of its burrow or hidden away. It will be really, really defensive. If you try and disturb it, it just wants to be left alone. Usually the membrane in between the shoots on its back become expanded. Other than that, it's
what do you mean by that though, Tim?
The white membrane in between the plates, top and bottom, they're called shoots. And usually the membrane will expand. It looks like a balloon with plates on it. I've had 3 or 4 people message me this week saying
in between those plates.
Yep, that's the one. Hey, that's nice.
It's a 3D printed one.
Nice.
From SS 3D.
Nice. Chris, do me one of them, please.
That's glow in the dark one, Chris.
I have the pink one for you still.
And George as well. Do George one. There's a good lad.
Pink one as well.
Yeah, pink one. Yeah. It can go on the wall with my my wood carvings from.
But you'll have to put it together yourself.
I'm sure I can manage that.
That one's all in one piece, Chris.
Well, I can do it in one piece as well. It doesn't matter.
Then we'll do it in one piece. Then you awkward person.
No, but I want you to struggle, put together a puzzle.
No, yeah, I think I know which one, Chris. Yeah, the one that you put together yourself is going to be a better model by a long shot. Trust me.
No, that's all right. Yeah, do that, Chris. I can do it. I've got loads of super glue.
Tim would like Alice's mystery boxes. Is there a load of 3D printed stuff in those, Amy? What's Can we talk about BTS, Tim?
Go for it.
No, Anton, I don't keep frogs. Sorry.
So for anybody that don't know, the British Tarantula Society is literally the pinnacle of keeping. They do journals, they name, discover spiders. They've got journals coming out. Is it quarterly?
Yeah, you get 4 a year. Yeah.
And they're literally some of the advanced minds on tarantulas in Europe, and now also scorpions.
Definitely.
And Tim, you're a committee member now.
Yeah, recently appointed.
What was that like getting the? Was it a message or a phone call or?
It was a message from the chairman, from Peter Kirk. To be accepted by your peers it's quite humbling. I've long wanted to do it. When I set myself 3 goals when I first started doing this all, 3 decades ago now. One was to get captive breeding up and going on a larger scale in the country, thanks to people like myself and George and a couple of other people. Numbers are steadily increasing. A lot more people are asking for captive-bred scorpions. My second box to tick off was getting my DWA license. That I got beginning of the year. That was a massive box to tick. It's something I've always wanted to do and just put off. And now I'm legally allowed to keep You know, the buthids, the dangerous life-threatening species. My third box was to either start a British Scorpion Society very, very similar to the BTS, or try and get on the BTS committee to cover their side of scorpions. I raised the idea with a few committee members, and they said, "Yeah, sounds like a plan. I think it's a good idea. You should run with this." So I got in contact with the chairman, Peter Kirk, and he asked me to submit a proposal. I penned a lengthy proposal explaining what I wanted to do and what my aims were, and that goes off to all the committee members for approval and discussion. They have a vote on it, and when all that had come back, it was I've been told it was a unanimous vote, and I was made a committee member to cover the scorpion side of things. But just to be given the opportunity to work with the people who have been doing this and written scientific papers, people like Peter Kirk, Ray Hale, Ray Gabriel, you know,
The best of the best.
it boggles me. Yeah, I mean, I speak all the time to Andrew. Andrew Smith used to be a committee member, and Guy Tansley. There's so many people, you know, it's quite big shoes to fill in.
I mean, we've got spiders and inverts described in the hobby because of these people that Tim just named.
Definitely.
They've gone out into the field. They've videoed some bits, done documentaries and all sorts, as well as they are literally just invert gods, absolute invert gods.
It honestly still baffles me today that I've been accepted into their ranks to speak about scorpions on their behalf. It is quite humbling. But yeah, the journals and everything. I mean, I've got journals here going back years. They're an amazing bit of kit. There's a lot of information in there, not just about tarantulas, you know, breeding live food. There's all the scientific stuff in there, but the stuff, if you're just getting into the hobby, I'd recommend anybody joining the BTS if you're serious about this hobby. To join the BTS. I mean, every single year in March we have the British Tarantula Society lectures, where in Bristol, a little hotel in Bristol, you know, they have arachnologists from all over the planet, people that have spent decades in the field, traipsing through the jungles, finding these animals, you know, giving descriptions, first-hand accounts. They have doctors and professors. It's literally the best arachnologists in the world to turn up to this thing and give lectures and new information, new findings. Amazing. I'll be attending next year, and I really can't wait.
Will you be doing a scorpion talk on the lectures?
No, I'm a long way off that, I think.
I do not think you're a long way off that at all.
I agree with Scott. I think you should do one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have just written a piece for the British Tarantula Society Journal, and that will be in the September issue, I believe.
And that's the reason I've joined the BTS.
Yeah, to have my first article paper published is, yeah, it's good. I mean, it's only a simple care guide, but it could possibly lead to somebody having a go at breeding emperor scorpions. So happy days.
What was the name of the author of that first book that you got that you're still in contact with? And my apologies to you, because I should know his name.
Vince Hull Williams.
Have you spoke with Vincent recently? And
yeah, I speak to him quite a bit. He's a really nice guy. He's an old hippie. He's a good lad. He's Vince.
What's he think to the new appointment?
From the messages he sent me, very impressed that somebody's managed to step in and take over the scoping side of things because he retired years ago, and obviously nobody's done it to my knowledge since then. But I grew up reading his books.
Do you think the young
book
Baxter? Do you think the young Baxter baby picking up that book for the first time ever dreamed of being in the position that he's in today?
No, I don't think he did. He really didn't. I did have a copy of that one as well. That, believe it or not, is a copy that Andrew Smith sent me, because when I was 13, 14, we went on a day trip to the seaside and my dad's car was broken into and stolen. And that was in the car door. I think it was a brown Allegro.
That poo brown. We had one.
Poo brown Allegro.
Yeah, we had one. Comedy squeak around corners, and ours blew up eventually.
I always remember the passenger set. I don't know if it was that car or the one he had before. The passenger seat in the front had a hole in the footwell, and it was like the Flintstones. You could literally see the road underneath you. It's just like. So yeah, it's been an amazing trip so far, and I hope to bring more and more to it. I'm just glad scorpions are now getting the attention, or a bit more of the attention that I feel they deserve. They've always lived in the shadow of tarantulas. It's a very, very niche corner of the hobby, is scorpions. But more and more people seem to be coming around to the idea of keeping them alongside their tarantulas.
I'm looking forward to that September journal. It's going to be, I think, for most of us that have joined BTS, to get the journal with one of your friends who's actually wrote a piece. That's going to be pretty epic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to actually, seeing it in front of me.
Yeah. Tim showing his age with cars that didn't have engines and were a little run on people power. Sergeant Spiders asked, I want to read it out word for word. Where was it now? Go back up. Would you do an expedition looking for scorpions?
Definitely.
I think you and George 100%. Out in the field would be incredible.
100%. The only drawback is most expeditions and things are out there for months at a time. That's literally months. I watched Andrew Smith on Amy's Live beginning of the week, and they're out there for 3-4 months at a time, just majority of the time looking for the animals because they're so well hidden and camouflaged.
That would be pretty difficult, especially with a young family.
Yeah, exactly. Work commitments, family commitments. I would like to see some primary rainforest if I ever get a chance, but I mean, it's a lot of money as well. Just the cost.
I think like George says, one day. I mean, we say one day, kind of very relaxed about a lot of situations, but I think this has got to happen. Yeah,
one day turns into 1 year, and before you know it, 15 years have passed, and you've got a grey beard.
Get to whether we get together as a hobby and do a GoFundMe and get you out there, or do something.
An awful lot of money. But no, I prefer to pay my own way. Scorpion, I'd like you to identify for me. I'm wondering if I bring it to Bristol to stress it out. It'll be 4-day thing for me. Just send me a picture. Send me or George a picture.
Tim, I know I've asked you about the colour of Emperor Stinger, but I think it should be helpful for you to say again so people know how to tell. Yeah?
Most Emperors, when they're young and freshly molted, the telson will be white. And as they get harder and get larger, it turns reddish brown. Who's at the night before Bristol? Well, me and Chris are now. Should be quite a few people at that hotel.
Yeah. Should be.
I think there's two different groups doing it all again, aren't they, instead of just the one?
Yep.
Which is a shame. We should all be together. That'd be better.
Yeah,
Amy says she'll do her best.
Trond will be there
Very,
as well,
very
so
early.
I get to sit and have a beer and talk scorpion porn with Trond.
You go in this one, George.
No, I'm missing this one.
Why?
I'm going to one in August in Essex. I'm going to do that one.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Ling will be there as well.
Which one? The Essex one?
No, the Bristol one.
Yeah, Bristol's a bit too far for me.
Are you going to be the Essex? Is that the book?
Essex Arachnid Show, I think it's called. I think. Yeah, I don't even know who's going out.
Yeah.
Probably none
Just
of
to
you.
confuse matters, yeah, there's the Essex Arachnid Show, which is EAS, and then there's the Amateur Entomological Society, which is AES.
Then you've got C's, and there's a lot of shows now.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Is it the Scottish one? Is that in August?
Scottish one is in August, yeah. It's the
Yeah,
one after
Glasgow's
Bristol.
in August.
It's one after Bristol.
Yeah.
That's a long weekend, that. I mean,
Inverter Mad says, which hotel will it be at? Hey, Bart. Hey, Lindsay.
we're stopping
Hey, Tara.
at the Premier in Thornbury. It's literally walking distance from the venue.
And
I
the
know
wife
that because
Tara in
Tron
chat
walked
is
it
going.
last year. Yeah, that's where we're stopping.
Just going back to your BTS appointment.
Yes.
What impact do you reckon you could have on the hobby now? Being in that position, what are you looking to change or maybe make people more aware of? When it comes to your final day, what would you have liked to have got done as a committee member?
My main thing still remains the captive breeding. The more people we get doing that, the better life will be. Everybody, there's no reason these shows shouldn't have captive bred scorpions on every single table, like there are spiderlings. No reason whatsoever. They're very, very simple to breed. Time is obviously a bit longer, but with staggered breeding, there should be freely available scorpions all year at all shows. I'd love to see that. I really would.
Do you have to worry about the gene pool with scorpions in the hobby?
The what? Sorry, the gene pool.
Yeah. So I think the point is like if you got
not at the minute because there's so many wild caught individuals still in the hobby. Imported. It's so much easier and cheaper to import a scorpion for a couple of quid than it is to breed. But
I think it makes a difference when you buy scorpions, because you buy one that's like so cheap it's unreal, like literally 10 or 15 quid for an Asian scorpion adult, which is wild caught, or you can buy one off somebody that you know that's actually took the time and bred it.
Yeah, I mean
that should
majority
be
of wild caught individuals. And if you're buying adult, you have no idea how old that scorpion is. No idea. You could have it for 4 years, you could have it for 2 weeks, and it die of old age. There's no way to tell.
I mean, I think people should find that quite impressive, because you can buy scorpions, you can buy spider slings from BTS committee members, but now you can also buy scorpions that have been bred by a BTS committee member also. I think that carries a lot of weight. I think I'd rather have one of those than a wild caught
Yeah, Scott, a lot of people should do that. I mean,
Oi.
if you're buying something wild caught, it's going to have some diseases. It's going to probably be days or weeks, maybe months if you're lucky from its deathbed. You don't know where it's been. You don't know how old it is. But with captive bred, you know how old the scorpion is. You know how long it takes to get to an adult. You know if it's been bred. You know it doesn't have any diseases. It's just all pluses. And for me, I would pay a bit extra for a captive bred Silenus, for example, rather than a wild caught one.
100%.
Simply for those reasons.
I think sometimes we can be a bit impatient, a bit greedy, so we want in the adult straight away.
Everyone wants the adult straight away, and then the adult dies after a week. How many people bought adult emperor scorpions, and how many of them that have bought them in the chat?
Did anybody buy 5 Solanus from Seas and 2 of them died?
Well, unfortunately, it's a chance you take with adults.
Yeah, wasn't impressed.
Couldn't find any captive bred spinnifer. George, have you got any?
I might, but if I do, I'm selling them. Yes, show.
Yeah.
George, where can we find you to buy your scorpions?
I've made a page now called Geoscorps. It's on Facebook. Just hit me up.
Let me get that.
Yeah, Tim, there's your scorpion.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Oh my word! Hold on. Are you selling these at shows or anything, Chris?
Yeah, there will be some.
Nice.
And how much are those?
Oh, nice.
50p.
You wish.
Or if you play with his beard, 25p.
If you tell him his beard's better than mine, 5p. I've just put George's page link into the comments. I highly suggest you go follow George, give him a follow, and then you've now got 2 outlets where you can get captive bred scorpions in the UK.
Yeah, that's our aim.
Ian says, I think the only wild caught he's got is centipedes. They'd be sellers out of business if wild caught was stopped. Yes, bedroom breeder, 100%. 100%. One Kit Kat and it's free.
Yeah, the would Phil.
I think
it would force people to do more captive breeding
together.
I think when you're buying, look how much breeding Phil does.
Yes, yeah. Not just scorpions and spiders either, just about everything. Unless now I'm thinking of Phil Incredible Inverts. Phil is in bedroom breeder. Yeah. 100%. We liked his mug that much. We've got 2 of them now. One for me, one for the wife.
Interesting fact.
I'll read that.
Interesting fact. George does not own one single tarantula.
Chris, can we change that on the next show? Is that?
No.
Sorry?
Yeah, I
George
don't
own a spider.
I don't own a tarantula or a spider. I own like 95%.
Give me 10 minutes with him. He'll buy one.
I've offered him a female Metallica for free.
What are you going to do to me?
He'll be going home with 10 creatures from the north mystery boxes. With Chris going, they've all got scorpions in, George. Buy this one. It's all scorpions.
I offered him a female Metallica for free, and he said no.
I'll take it.
You've got more than enough.
George, take it, and I'll swap it for a scorpion.
What scorpions you got? I don't know. Is it an Asian forest scorpion?
No, it's that plastic pink one you've just seen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice, Daniel.
I'm assuming a Metallica is rare, or something. Is it rare?
But it's
or expensive?
It's the spider to have. basically. Everybody seems to love Metallica.
As you always refer to it, George, the blue one.
I did want to get a tarantula, and you guys convinced me not to.
I have 9 fucking.
I wanted to get the Togo Starburst, I think it was called.
No, it was the Caledonia. No. It was the T. Caledonia you wanted, the Brazilian jewel.
Oh, that small one. That's quite cute. Yeah, but expensive.
Very expensive and very, very hard to look after.
Yeah, difficult. But then where George is at his keeping, he should be able to keep it completely fine.
What?
But
I've
had 2 now as slings, and both of them have passed away.
Really?
They're my nemesis. I struggle to keep the babies.
That's horrible because they're like £100 a piece, aren't they? Around that.
I got one in a mystery box with CFTN, and then I swapped one for some Damon Medius babies many moons ago when we bred those.
Nice.
See that both of you breed the scorpions quite prolifically. If somebody was keeping scorpions, let's say they've been keeping for a couple of years, got some good knowledge behind them.
Yeah.
What's a go-to beginner species that one will pair quite easily for you, get the babies quite easily, but then more importantly, you can move the babies on quite easily?
Basically, any Heterometra species will be easy to keep and breed. The one I recommend mostly for beginners would be Heterometrus lauticus. They're communal, they're easy to breed, they're easy to keep. They're basically like Heterometrus silenus, but more docile, from what I've found.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's the scorpion I would tell. If you don't have a scorpion, that's the one I'd recommend for a beginner straight away. There's nothing wrong with them, and they look amazing. Absolute tanks.
Just talk about communals. The scorpion communal is the best thing I ever did.
Really? How many silenus did you do? Was it 5?
I did 5. 2 of those passed away, so I had to get another 2. So I did, and they're all going great. And there's just something happening all the time. All the time they're moving around. Something's going on in that little enclosure.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that you can lift a log up, and you've got huge inverts sitting there together.
Yeah.
It's just it is so cool. It's unreal. That's down to Tim, because no way would I have done that off my own back.
I didn't know the lauticus have communal. Yeah. So most species in most scorpions from the genus Heterometrus are semi-communal. As long as you provide enough food and space, they should be just fine. But there is always a chance that one of them might be, hungry and eat the other one. There's always that chance, but generally they're okay with each other.
And so you're probably better off linking up with Trond.
Yeah,
because you guys are both in Europe.
Yeah, Trond has access to scorpions that we can only dream of in this country. Thanks, Brexit.
Yeah. I'll just put out a little warning. In 8 minutes' time, we do swear. We do have a little bit of adult conversation.
Well, Chris
and it is marked by Chris calling me every swear word name under the sun. He takes 0 prisoners, so bang on 9 o'clock, he will unleash hell on poor old Scott with the real beard. That happens at 9 p.m. So if you do have any children watching, or if indeed yourself you're a child, please do not be watching after 9 p.m. or remove your children from the TV or wherever you're watching it, or put some ear defenders on them so they can't hear. But we do swear, we do have adult conversation after 9 p.m. Amy said when it comes to the Caledonia, who drill a starter hole in the bark and give them some lichen and moss to make their trapdoor, she's heard that's slightly easier to keep. Hey, Charlotte. Charlotte loves the communal.
Like 2 months now. It's fine.
Have you got a Caledonia, Chris?
Phil says Lacticus more docile by far.
They are.
100%.
Yeah, they are.
I'd say they're the only true communal species. I have a lot of luck with Selenus. I've got two communals of those, 2 communals of Javanametris cyanus. But the Lauticus, you give them as much space and food as you like, and they will all sit together under the same damn little bit of log. Always. Very, very rarely do you ever find one out by itself. They're all sat together. Same as the emperors.
Oh, what do you mean 7? That's the wife. You said 7, Scott. 7 what?
Minutes.
Oh, 7 minutes now. Oh God, yeah. Now I'm understand. 6 minutes now. It's been a very long day at work today. That's all I shall say. How do you mean like the Lauticus are true communal? Do you actually find them living together in the wild?
They're not.
I've not seen them in the wild.
Yeah. I wouldn't say any of them are true communal. Emperors are supposed to be true communal, and from what I've observed, they are. With forest scorpions, basically, it's hit and miss.
It only takes one scorpion with an attitude to screw everything up. It's usually a gravid female that takes offense to anything else being nearer.
But I also feel like the ratio of males to females matter. If you have 5 scorpions, I'd say at least 3 of them need to be female.
If not 4.
Yeah. If you put 4 males with 1 female, they're all going to compete for the female. So you're going to get a lot more dead scorpions. But,
yeah, definitely.
More females, so the males don't have to fight over her, and you should be okay for the most part.
Male scorpions will fight no matter what you put in together. I recently set up a communal of Javanametris cyanus, and I posted a video on my timeline of the two large males that were squaring off against each other for dominance of the tank. That was a nice 15-minute watch, like a gladiatorial battle. One of them just beats a hasty retreat, goes and hides under a log, and the other one, free reign of the females.
I'll just drop the link in for George's Scorpion page again. Again, highly suggest everybody clicks on that and gives him a follow, especially for Captive-bred in the UK. Tim is Tim Baxter, Just Scorpions, as I hope all of you watching are already linked up to Tim. So we're going to keep dropping out George's link into the comments, I think, this evening. Shall we?
How long after a female becomes gravid do they become aggressive?
Cracking question.
I would say when
defensive.
Females are naturally defensive anyway, but I would say once they start to look gravid, as a general rule of thumb, you'll find their disposition changes. They start spending a bit more time by themselves and not sat in the communal. Usually, if anything tries to come under their bit of log, they'll fight it off to, no, this is my space, leave me be, type of thing. Again, it's just trial and error, constant. Every day is a school day. I'm learning new stuff all the time. But that's a good thing about me speaking with George all the time. Things that I find happening, I relate to George, and exactly the same. When he finds some unusual behaviour, he relays it to me. We both keep an eye out for that behaviour. It's good when you've got other people that are
absolutely
able to see and keep an eye out for the things that you've observed, to see if it is just a one-off or it's natural behavior.
Tim, my scorpion is doing this. What the hell? Help.
Yeah, exactly. All the time. Does this look normal to you?
And have you guys kept scorpions of the same species, same size, same age, same setups, individually, and reported back to each other with different behavioural traits?
we've kept scorpions in a terrestrial environment, and then later on found out, hey, listen, it spends a lot of time hanging under the cork bark. It's like, yeah, me too. I think that they're not so
semi-arboreal.
They're semi-arboreal. It's like, yeah, I've noticed that too. Yeah, constantly giving each other advice. Like if there's a scorpion that I'm not so
1
sure
minute warning.
I'd normally give Tim, I need a second opinion. Tim's the first person I'll go to for a second opinion. Absolutely.
Yeah, and George is the first person I go to for a second opinion.
Yes.
I think literally the only difference between yourselves is Tim's more on social media. And that's it.
Yeah, more than likely.
Even though you are kind in saying the gap is closer, Tim still knows more than I do. Quite a bit. He's got quite a bit more experience than I do. I came into this hobby a few years ago. Tim's been here for ages.
But then when it comes to spiders, you know, I've been in the hobby, what, 8 years, almost 8 years. Chris, I think, is 6. Is it 6 years, Chris? Well, you can't speak until 9 p.m. because he swears that much. But me and Chris have got a good friend called Charlie.
Nobody fucking asked your fucking opinion, you fucking fake bitch.
I messed you up this week.
Fucking cunt.
And here come the profanities.
Now I can fucking talk. I've been in the hobby not long, but at the same time, I've been a long time in the hobby. I started doing. I was interested in tarantulas when Tarantula Go in 1976 was out, when he was doing YouTube, which is 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, he went on
to... it all started.
Impacting the spiders. And the last time I looked at his channel, he was doing hemp. And protein shakes. Yeah, I was like, no, go back to spiders.
It all started. But keeping, I've been for 3 years.
Exactly. Exactly. And Chris's knowledge is pretty amazing. Me and Chris have got a good friend of ours called Charlie that's only been in the hobby for about 2 years. And his knowledge is incredible. And some of the species he's been breeding is just like, wow. So
yeah,
I don't think
Charlie's a good lad.
Going back to you guys and George, with your experience, I think you can gain more experience in 6 months than some people can in 10 years.
Well, there's that saying, no, if you have one person at level 50 and one person at level 1, they can't gain experience at the same rate. The person at level 1 is going to gain it faster than the person at level 50. So that's why it seems a bit closer. Yeah. I mean, look, I speak to Tim arguably every day, if not every other day.
Yep.
Well, if you're speaking constantly with the #1 breeder of scorpions in the UK, you're going to start to know a thing or two about scorpions.
And if the #1 breeder in the UK speaking to the #2, he's also going to learn at an accelerated rate.
100%.
It's got to be said, George, every time me and Tim have done a live, the credit Tim gave you is absolutely incredible. I think it's well deserved. I think it's about time you started accepting the accolades and the status where we're trying to put you. Definitely.
Yes. I'm at the point now where I'm just trying to sell the abnormal amount of scorpions I have. It's like I have a lot and they need to go. A lot of them. Yeah.
What, a lot of babies?
A lot of scorpions.
And adults. Yeah. Quite a bit. I think last year I had around 400.
So YouTube's different to Facebook, George. You can tell them, you can mention prices, whatever you want to do, dude.
No, listen, I'm gonna, if you guys want to get some scorpions, hit either up me or Tim. There will be captive-bred. I don't really sell many of my adults, but captive-bred scorpions. And I think me and Tim should have some very interesting species before the year is done. So,
oh yes,
if the first place we'll put them is the Scorpion Hobbyist UK group. As soon as something drops, we're like, bam, there it is, and everyone's like, yeah, save me.
Scorpion Hobbyist.
Scorpion Hobbyist UK. That's it. Yeah.
Right.
Amazing. How many inverts do you all have?
It's not about numbers, Lisa. It's just about the passion. It's about the passion for the hobby.
Do I need to count every single roach?
If so, Chris is in the hundreds of thousands.
And some, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to keep inverts to be part of the community. Just an interest. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Chris, I hear
That's
you
a
can
link.
got exoterras as well.
What?
Just drop your link
How
to the
many
Facebook into the
exoterras do you
comment.
have?
How many? A lot.
Do you use them all?
Phil has been keeping and breeding for 28 years, but I learned things from keepers that have been keeping for 1 year. Always be open to information and opinions.
Definitely.
There is another man that knows a hell of a great deal on scorpions. Is our Phil as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, yeah, cracking guy as well. He goes live every Monday from about 8 p.m.
I don't use all of my XOs, and no chance. I reckon it's fair. No fucking chance.
Don't
I've
you
got
have
a
a
couple of
pile of
exo
shame of
terras.
I need the biggest shed.
I've got a couple of exoterras empty, and every time a mate comes round, he's like, "Oh, they look nice. They look nice." And he's the guy that helped me do all the sheds, so I think I'm gonna have to
Give him
go
one as a
against
thank
the
you.
grain and give him one as a thank you. Yeah,
Yeah. Why not?
I think
Even
he'd
though
like it if I gave him one.
my XOs will be for sale at some point, closer to end of the year.
Chris, are
Is
you
that when
after a female apophysis by any chance?
How big?
I've got one available here if you need it.
The one from the chat.
Yeah.
If he starts going like this, that means he really wants it. Because he
6
goes
inch
like this, he
legs,
gets
man.
all anxious, and then he
6, 7
thinks,
inch
"How much
legs,
should I
man.
offer it? What should we do?"
Bring it.
I'll bring it. I'll bring it to Bristol.
Leah. Leah's been in the hobby for 11 years, and she says she knows FA. Yeah, right. Osman's entering his 3rd year of keeping. And my God, does Osman have some setups? Wow, Matt's been a channel member for 18 months, Matt. It says, "Good evening, you sexy bunch." That's gone quick. That's gone wow fast. And Tara's been a level 2 member for 34 months. I'd congratulate the wife for being a channel member for 34 months, but it's been me that pays for a channel membership. And she fucking went for a level 2 as well.
You have to pay your own channel membership.
Well, well, Tara's one, yeah.
Of course, it's Tara's. Yeah.
And it's always when she's got like nothing in the bank, and then she's like, "You fucking bastard, your fucking channel membership just come fucking out again," and I'm like, "You're the one that clicked on it." Nessa's been a channel member for 18 months as well. God, it's great when you get channel members, but when it comes up with how the length of period of time that they've been a channel member, you think, where has that time gone?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like 2 minutes ago.
Yes, Osman, yeah.
We was all in lockdown, and that was 5 years ago now. Mental.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of 1999. It's 2019. Sorry.
Yeah. 1999.
Yeah. Sorry, that's me showing my age again.
Leah's been a channel member for 27 months. Ian for 18 months. That's crazy. It's really been 5 years since lockdown.
Yep.
Wow. The
Yeah, I
year
only
the
found
world
that out
went,
yesterday. That scared the
mad.
hell out of me.
And where's COVID gone? It just disappeared, didn't it? Just poof, vanished.
It's all right. Everybody got the jabs.
But yeah, I mean, love them or hate them. I mean, the first time I had COVID, it hit me like a steam train going over me. I was not very well at all, just purely with the migraines and the snot. The second time, having had the first jab, and then I left it. I think I went over the time by about 3 or 4 months to have the second jab, and I never had no more than that. But the second time I had it, it was nowhere near as bad as the first time.
That's because you're building up antibodies.
They last in your system for 3 months, apparently. I actually got COVID about a year apart from each other.
The only thing that happened to me is I lost all sense of taste, which was good because my wife made me drink all the crap bits of booze that was left in the bottom of the bottles as opposed to opening new ones. We even made a game for the kids. They'd go in the
30 months.
Booze cupboard and pour me a shit mix.
Just
literally make a concoction. It was like Professor Snape's potions lesson in Harry Potter, and they were just bringing me glasses, and I may as well have been drinking water.
It's amazing, isn't it? That because if you get a real bad cold, you don't test for COVID, so you could have it, you might not have it, and literally, who cares? And that's literally how the world is now.
It's just treated as a cold, isn't it? If you have COVID, yeah, still coming to work.
Yeah. But why couldn't we go into work in lockdown? Why couldn't we carry on in lockdown?
Did you guys get the arrows when we were shopping? We had to stand a certain distance from each other, and we had to have the arrows. If we were near the mall, we had to walk that way, and the arrows to show to walk that way.
We had all that at Asda and Morrison's and that. Yeah,
horrible.
Scott Noah is almost 4.5. He's definitely been 5 years. Yeah, because Noah was born in the middle of lockdown. And the nurses were amazing because the nurses were like, you can't, as a father, be in the same room as us and your wife while she gives birth. But, however, if she has a water birth, you can be. So we booked the water birth room, or went into there, and just she had a natural birth anyway. So we got around it that way.
Nice.
But that was with much help from those nurses at the time, which were just amazing. Tim, I had a pace stick in lockdown, kept everyone at bay.
Yeah.
I don't know about just for lockdown. I wouldn't mind a cattle prod for now. I'd love a little cattle prod to keep everybody away from you when you're walking through town.
Yeah, it'd be good.
That'd be bloody amazing. Be like, are you an animal keeper? No. You an animal keeper? Yes. Right, you're fine. You an animal keeper? No. Shall we move on and have a look at some of your animals?
Yeah, by all means. I've got a few out here ready.
Go on, Tim, take it out.
George, to give you a heads up, we want to see a couple of yours as well. We know you want to see Tim's, but you can do that on video call later.
On one of our regular video calls, yeah. I will have to put big light on.
Oh, big light. He's going to wheel the big telly out in a minute.
Yeah, nuclear.
Big thanks to Chris there as well. Chris has been literally highlighting all your comments tonight and dropping some into the comments as well. Chris's Zoo on Wheels is live every single Friday from 8 p.m. If you want to see some tarantula pairings, whether they pair or the male gets eaten, he does those on a Friday. Nothing hidden, just literally the full pairing. So when we do pairing videos on YouTube, a lot of the time and a lot of bits get cut out. On a Friday, you get to see the whole thing from start to finish. Chris, if you wouldn't mind kindly putting your link into the comments, so everybody can hit you with the subscription, that'd be wicked. Gotta give the big man a little shout out, haven't we?
He does enough shouting for everyone, Chris. Chris is the loudest person that I have ever met.
At a show? Oh my God.
Anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. Sat in a restaurant, sat in a bar. You always know where he is. Always.
Tim, can I just remind you, you're live on YouTube. It's not a personal call between you and George. So if you can keep your clothes on, that'd be fantastic.
I'll try. I can't promise.
It's
gone up to 32 degrees in this shed.
Not here.
Open the door, Tim.
Do you know what? That'd be an idea, that. Yeah. Bear with me.
It is amazing because when you come into your shed, I mean, I didn't even think about stuff like this, but when you come into your shed, it's at whatever temperature it is, and with you just being in there as well, it increases the heat.
Oh.
Just one body.
Yeah.
Oh, breeze.
Door's slightly open.
Cold rain as well. And now my motion camera's going off as well.
My one as well.
Right, now
Every
I've got to
time
figure
I
out how
move,
to spin the camera around.
literally every time I move, it fucking vibrates. Annoying.
Let's see what I can do.
Hey, Scouser.
Nope. Nope.
No, no.
Three
I'm
dots,
saying
settings,
old man of
camera.
technology.
Anna,
3 dots, settings, camera. Choose the
This
last
what?
one from drop-down menu.
say that again, slowly and in
3
legible
dots.
English.
3 dots on the screen.
Yeah,
Settings,
yeah,
camera.
yeah.
There's a drop-down menu. Choose the last one.
Front
Then
camera. Back
Yeah.
camera. Look at that. Chris, you're brilliant.
Then back and back and back, and then you can see what you're showing. Don't click the cross. It's just back.
Back. Yes. Right, first up on the showcase. These are some of the smallest scorpions I've ever worked with. Scorp Augustinus. They're found all over Europe, Italy, Greece, France.
George, does that mean have you seen these in the wild?
I was
It's
born
an
and
adult
raised here, so
female.
no.
No, these aren't wild caught. These are captive bred. That little thing there
Yes, you can.
is a gravid adult female.
Tim, you need 50p in your meter.
Yeah, your video is just a little bit jumpy, but we'll go with
Where
it.
is it?
We'll
Sorry.
crack on with it.
Now it's fine.
Maybe if I move it closer to the... Is that better?
That's an adult female.
Gravid adult female. It's like the size of a 5p piece.
I think you
Chris.
overfed it, Tim.
Chris, that's bigger than yours. That is.
Nah, it's slightly smaller.
Is
Mine
it?
was about 3 mil bigger.
Ah,
I have
I'm
6
Gravid.
pairs of those. Hopefully we should have quite a few babies soon. They're all kept in pairs.
Connor said, do they eat the springtails?
Yes, they do. Yeah, springtails, crickets. Like I said earlier, the small scorpions do a lot of scavenging. So half a mealworm in there, it will find it and it will eat it.
Oof. Nom noms.
But small scorpions now are really becoming a big thing. I'm asking. There's a lot more people asking for the.
Bet it's worth more than a 5p.
Bet that's worth more than a 5p piece. I believe I paid 11 quid for it.
Oh, not bad.
Next up
Our
on the
baby
agenda
isopods
is
okay to feed to scorpions often, says Rebecca.
I don't really know a lot about isopods. I don't have a lot of dealing with them, but I can't see why they wouldn't eat them in the wild, especially if they're from the same area. If you can
Hey,
find
DK.
out they occur naturally and where the isopods occur naturally, if they're from the same region, I can't imagine they wouldn't. This,
Or anywhere
this
where it's
scorpion
damp,
here,
you're going to find a species of isopod or a species of springtail.
you mentioned Charlie earlier. Charlie bought me this as a thank you present. This is the rarest scorpion I've got in my collection. As far as I know, it's the only one in the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's still only really small.
Hmm.
Let's see if I can
He's a
find
good
it.
lad, is Charlie, isn't he?
Yeah,
Kind heart, that guy.
that's him right there.
Aw, tiny thing.
Really tiny
Oh,
little
yeah.
thing.
Got it.
That's what she said.
That's what the wife says, yeah. The wife's actually messaging Amy from the bath, dirty bastards.
Yeah,
How
really
much would
small
that one,
little
Tim?
species, and I can't wait to see that grow.
Maxwell's asking how much is it?
How much was that? I have no idea. Like I say, it was given to me as a gift.
The problem you got there, Max, is it's the only one in the
How much I
UK.
paid for it?
It's a gift, and it
As
belongs
far
to
as
Tim.
I know Charlie did have one. I know Charlie did have one, but his unfortunately died. So next up is one of the South African tree scorpion. Well, not South African. This is from Madagascar. This is an Epistocanthus madagascarensis. Beautiful little scorpion, highly arboreal.
See that
Due to
shocked
pox.
me when you told me that scorpions were arboreal. I was like, what?
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah, I've got quite.
And that,
We've both got quite a few arboreal species. Me and George. They're quite a lot of time they spend running up and down tree bark. Let's have a look. Where are you? Right there.
Oh.
Try and get it focus. Yeah, now it does a runner.
Is it a female?
Yeah, that's a female, that one.
Looks like it.
George just used his scorpion senses there. Did
Doesn't
you
it?
see him? He closed his eyes and went, female.
Easy to tell.
Yeah, we do get quite a lot
Are
of
they
arboreal scorps.
are they that active when you're not messing around with them?
These are very active little scorps. George has found the same thing. They're very, very, very active during the day. I'd go so far as to say they are diurnal.
Have you got
Really,
have you
really
got
rare
babies
for
of
a
those?
scorpion.
Either
The
of you?
majority of them are nocturnal.
Not yet, but soon.
Yeah, majority of them are nocturnal.
Yeah. Probably this year should have some captive-bred.
So what you're saying? Keep an eye on the
This little
Facebook
beauty
group,
trying to
Scorpion
escape.
Hobbyist
Keep an eye
UK.
on the Facebook group. What are you doing?
I'll stick that link back into the chat. I
Trying to
think Craig's been dropping the links out as well all night. Cheers, Craig. Appreciate that, man.
This is my work in progress. This is a Gravid female subspecies of desert hairy.
Tim, just going back to the arboreal ones. It's quite an interesting statement, really. Charlotte says, I know they're tiny and you know what you're doing, but watching you stick your finger in those enclosures is making them anxious.
Completely harmless. Those small ones at that size, they will have difficulty even breaking the skin.
I think what people are probably worried about is, yes, Tim has his DWA license, but Tim will tell you and act completely different when he pulls out any DWA scorpions this evening.
Yeah, none of these are
Absolutely.
dangerous in the slightest.
Yeah. So these,
she's my
all
work
the
in
scorpions
progress.
that you've seen so far, any of us can keep.
Tim, poke that one.
Yeah.
With the finger.
No.
No.
You need 50p in your
No,
meter.
because she will puncture the skin.
Tim, it's getting worse.
Apologies if it's because I'm moving the camera.
Yeah. Don't you have a tripod?
No, probably not. But she's been fed on a diet of other scorpions.
Ooh.
Max, we'll ask
Ones
him that
die
one once.
naturally in my care.
Max, put that question back up again once Tim's finished dealing with scorpions, and we'll ask him.
What species is this one?
I'll do a load of questions at the end. But yeah, she's been fed a diet of other scorpions. Naturally, what they would eat in the wild. Any that die in my care usually get offered to her to see if she's hungry for them. So I genuinely believe the reason we're having such difficulty in breeding desert hairies is they're not getting the appropriate nutrients for them to go full term.
And that's only obtainable through them doing exactly what they do in the wild, which is eating other scorpions.
Eating other scorpions. That's my theory.
No,
So
it makes
I'm trying
sense.
my best to prove it and documenting everything. You know, future research.
Future
She's-
BTS
yeah,
journal entry
Yeah, could be. Depends what I find out.
will be a really interesting. I'm looking forward to your BTS entry in September.
I need to get a subscription.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I will.
It's only
Everybody
like-
should have a subscription.
Is it £22 for the year?
22 quid for a full year.
Because I remember
You
going
get
on it
4
and
journals.
I'm thinking, is that all it is?
Yeah, 22 quid. You get
And-
4 journals through your letterbox. You get early bird tickets for the shows.
Discounted
The exhibition and the lectures.
Isn't BTS tickets cheaper as well?
Yes, you do. Yes.
Yeah.
What's next?
Tim, how do you source
next,
other
George?
scorpions for her other than your own losses, as you said? Or is it
No,
literally just your own losses?
No, literally just my own losses. If I was to say get George to put me in ones he had in his collection, a couple of days in the mail, I don't think they'd be in any state to feed. It's normally fresh dead. And I have to simulate movement normally for her to take them.
Well, she took one, didn't she?
Right, these... Yeah, she did. She took one, I think it was last week. She ate the full thing. Telson and all. Which she normally leaves bits of it, but she's eaten everything, every little scrap. I can't find any in her enclosure. Now these, just got, George got some and sent me some because he's a nice guy. This is a Pandionides Duff Mackay. Perfectly harmless.
Absolutely.
And near enough completely orange.
Focus.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning scorpion.
Really nice species.
Look at them claws.
Very
Absolutely stunning. And these are only small juveniles. They should get at least double this size.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, the future with what you both have got is incredibly exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully
Incredibly
one day all
exciting.
these will all be available as captive-bred babies. That's our aim. As you can see, that's one of the small water dishes, so she's not huge. But yeah, they should get minimum double that size, if not bigger.
Amy said it's only dead ones that you used. Wasn't sure if they needed to be live or not, and if so, which species would she prefer?
No. Believe it or not, you can actually buy freeze-dried dead scorpions for, I believe it's for arowana fishes. You can buy like a little foil pack that has 3 or 4 freeze-dried scorpions in it. I've tried it with those, but the freeze-drying just completely takes all the moisture out.
It's for the
And it's
puffer
just like a
fish as
dry
well.
husk. I've tried it with those and nothing. She wasn't interested.
Yeah,
Michelle
it's for
says I don't look at them normally, but saying that I really like that, but I just did. Have we just found or converted somebody onto scorpions there?
Good, I hope so.
Got more pretty stuff.
Right.
Oh
now these
yeah,
next
what's that BTS certificate you got there, Tim?
What that?
I'll give you what
Oh,
that.
that was what I won at the BTS show last year.
Oh,
I got
awesome!
pipped
We
at
have
the post
converted
this
her.
year.
Does that mean next year you'll be judging that competition?
Hopefully.
That'd be
I'd
cool.
like to. Yeah, I'd like to judge the scorpion section. That'd be awesome.
Hey, Dave. Uncle Dave's in the house.
Big Dave.
Big Dave.
Right, so I'll just leave it on there so you can look at how well I just set up the DWA bit. Because I need a little bit of space for my extra large tub. We're doing things safely.
Just while you're doing that, Tim, do the other committee members kind of realise how we look up to them? Because the ones I've spoke to,
I make a song and dance of it, and rightly so.
They all just seem completely normal people, not up their own or asses or anything
really
like that, which is just approachable,
really
just
nice
really
guys
nice
and gals.
people.
A lot of them. I mean, majority of these people literally wrote the books that we read. It's phenomenal.
You've come to the right
place.
place.
Mr. Saley first. Ugh.
I think that's one of the things that we all appreciate about you and George is you've got all this knowledge, yet those beginner questions, just going back to what we were talking about very earlier, those beginner questions are just as important as the ones that are more advanced to the ones where you're thinking, how do I answer this, or where do I find the answers for this question from? I think that's quite refreshing.
There's a question that gets asked the most, I believe, in the scorpion hobby, which is to do with an Asian forest scorpion, Heterometrus silenus in particular. And everyone says, I have an Asian forest scorpion, please can you help me idea? And 99.999% of the time, it's a Heterometrus silenus. So much, in fact, me and Tim get this question about every day. We're going to get a tattoo that says,
matching tats.
It's a silenus.
Definitely. That's my next port of call for ink, is getting It's a Silenus written on my arm or hand somewhere. Right, these next ones are boothids. We'll move on to the dangerous section of the tour. This, in my opinion, is one of the most pretty scorpions on the planet.
While Tim's dealing with DWA, I won't be taking any questions for him, and I won't be asking him any. It will just be Tim's time to talk about the DWA because
concentration.
Yeah, and you have to really take it quite serious, or very serious.
Yeah. So these are Hottentotta Saley. They come from the Middle East, North Africa, and that one's freshly shed.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I'll give you a 10 if you poke that.
Yeah, it's not worth a tenner.
Okay, because we are friends, I'll give you a $5.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, still no.
Yeah, you spend more money on an Uber ride to the hospital.
Yeah, definitely. A nice airlift to Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine.
How strong the venom is?
It's enough to land you in hospital for a few days, definitely.
Fucking hell. Can I borrow that one from you?
I don't believe it'd be life-threatening, but I'd still err on the side of caution. Yeah, it's one of my favourites, Dave, for very obvious reasons.
It's like
Absolutely
a desert
stunning.
hairy, just better.
Oh, yeah. They're a lot faster.
Yeah.
They're very, very food orientated.
A lot more
Whereas
venomous.
most of the scorpions available in the hobby will take prey down with their claws. Boothids just solely use their claws to grab the prey while they administer a sting with a telson. I've recently started filming prey takedowns and started timing how long it stops for the venom to take effect. Some of them are lightning quick. You're talking 3-4 seconds for a red runner roach to stop moving its antennas. So yeah, we'll put that little one away now.
That is amazing, because we're obviously, a lot of us are more partial to seeing tarantula takedowns, and the red runners finally stop moving when the spiders ate half of it, and that can be a good while.
Yeah, they're
So
very,
to
very
say that
slow to react.
a sting can kill one within seconds is wow.
Yeah.
It just shuts the entire central nervous system down. It stops all
Night, Maxwell.
the nerve endings, all your nerve endings firing. We say it can do a lot of damage to a human, especially children or the elderly. Just quickly put that one back in its viv.
Good night, Maxwell.
Right.
Big Craig,
Let's see what
dropping
else we've
George's
got.
link into the chat. I've been dropping down the Facebook group, which you can go up to, go and join. Extremely friendly, beginner friendly, and where you can find George's and Tim's scorpions for sale.
Can.
Right,
Right,
this
lovely.
next one.
I am going to be leaving you lot.
Everybody always wants to see this one.
Already, Chris.
This is
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Just,
Oh,
yeah.
brother.
No worries. Good night, everyone. I'll see you all on Friday. And
Good night, Chris.
take care. Have fun live. I'll rewatch it
Cheers,
later.
Chris. See you in a bit.
see you later, Chris.
No worries. Take care.
Bye. Bye.
See you later, dude. Right, this next one. This is the infamous Death Stalker,
That's true. That's true, Dave.
Eurus quinquestriatus.
Oh wow.
That is a very, very dangerous scorpion. They're lightning quick, very, very fast.
I heard they're very quick.
Very, very toxic
Very.
scorpion.
Yeah.
Its tail seems to be longer than the other ones.
Yeah, they are. They're very, very spindlians.
And its claws look just so fragile. Well, I mean, even the way it sits just says, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, this is one of the ones I really wouldn't want to mess around
Do you
with.
think?
Even
Do you
Well-
think where its claws are, is that its striking range? Because he seems to have more widened claws out apart from each other than what normal
the speed
scorpions
in which
do.
these can reposition their tail is phenomenally fast. The speed in which they sting, I had a kinny the same as a viper striking or a rattlesnake. They're really, really fast. Literally the blink of an eye.
Wow.
No, Craig, I don't have a license. Just Tim at the moment.
I keep
Yeah.
telling him to apply for one.
One day.
I'm doing it this year.
The way you can tell these is the darker fifth tail segment, the one just before the telson. I don't know if you can see this thing on that, but it is like a hypodermic needle.
It's blending in a bit with the background, but you can see it a bit.
Yeah, it's because it's sat near the rock. I really don't want to disturb it.
Yeah, and Tim, your quality has gone down quite a bit.
No, I think if that's
Sorry.
If that's the best shot, then we'll deal with it and we'll go with it. And no doubt there'll be pictures on your Facebook at some point.
Yeah, pictures are a lot easier to take than video, especially when I'm keeping one eye on the scorpion.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, you getting your license this year? Oh, Chris, Scott.
I'm gonna apply for it this year. I've built the installation with Tim's guidance, so all the foil tape that's all gone around. That's because Tim mentioned that before we even started, because then that's all the gaps and everything sealed.
Yes.
Yeah, the ventilation. Yeah, Tim's sorting that.
Should be easy. If you apply, get Tim's advice on what they look out for. Get a license.
We've already had the messages.
Go through everything with him.
Yeah,
it'll save him having to get it redone and them coming back on a later date.
Because the single pane windows that we've got in here, we were just going to board it all up, but you can't. You have to have that viewing window. So, luckily for me, a friend of a friend makes windows, UPVC ones, and fits them. So he can get them at a real discounted rate, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than what I thought. Put it that way. Oh, Dave, are you applying on the 5th?
Right, next on the list.
Oh, go on, Dave.
I will. I'll remove this. You can tell them what it is, George.
Oh God. The Australis, yellow fat tail scorpion. Is it Hector?
Yeah.
It looks like Hector. That is probably the most venomous thing in your shed.
Wow.
Easily the most lethal thing in my shed.
Yeah.
Is that a sting that there's no recovery from, George?
That they're from the Middle East. Now we're not sure, because people in the Middle East, when they get stung, the hospital care isn't as advanced as it is in the West. So a lot of people do die from this thing, from this species in particular. If we're talking about top venom levels in all scorpions on the planet, this is always in the top 5, if not in the top 3. Sometimes it's not number 1, but I'd give it number 2.
Definitely.
In Tim's shed, it's definitely the most venomous thing he has.
How much venom yield has that got compared to number 1, though? What's hitting you with more venom? Because then that's obviously going to make...
The difference from this and the scorpion at number 1 is the type of venom. This one's a neurotoxic venom. And Tim, do you remember the name for the venom of the first scorpion? The venomous one.
Is it
cytotoxin?
It's a mixture of like 6 or 7. It's a cocktail.
Yeah. So
Lycus mucranatus. Oh no, it's not Lycus mucranatus. It's bloody hell. Forgotten the name of the damn scorpion now.
I've forgotten it as well. It's not about the venom level, it's the type of venom. So this is a neurotoxic venom. If this stings you and it doesn't kill you, you're going to have a headache. You're going to vomit a little bit. You're going to have maybe diarrhea, some nausea. But eventually, you'll get over the effects. It will stop hurting in a few hours, a few days, and you'll be fine, just like you've never been stung. With the other scorpion we're talking about, if it stings you, you could have your arm amputated. It might not kill you. Yeah, like it will start to spread. Like I think some snakes have this kind of venom as well. It's you can't treat it. It starts to spread, and the only way to get away from it is to amputate at the site of the sting, which is why it's so bad.
Wow.
It's absolutely horrible venom. But yeah. Lovely creatures though.
Very, very serious stuff.
Right, I'll spin the camera around and I'll put this little boy away. That's it, you're back with me now. Sorry.
Hemiscorpius lepturus.
Hemiscorpius lepturus.
Yeah. Cytotoxic venom.
And also a word of warning, perfectly legal to keep in the UK.
What? The number one?
Number one is.
Fuck off.
Nope. It's not in the Boothid family, hence it's not on the list.
Well, it needs to be changed.
What? What the fuck? Who's responsible for putting scorpions on the DWA list? Because they need a fucking kick in the ass.
It needs to be changed, definitely.
It needs an entire overhaul. That's one of the items on my list in the future.
Yeah.
In the future, I mean, I could keep one of those now, take it in the house, and say to my little one, "I know you like scorpions. Check this one out." Oh, something else happens. I leave that scorpion. It twats him, and that's it. No kid.
Yeah, no, it's horrible.
What the fuck?
And scorpions get imported by the thousands, and often species get mixed up. This could come in looking like
it looks
palmatus.
exactly the same as a Scorpio palmatus.
Yeah,
near enough.
It could come in with a palmatus,
same.
And with a palmatus, that the sting is basically a 1 out of 5. You would like poke your finger in thinking that you won't get stung, but it will end up being one of these scorpions that's been misidentified by a reptile shop that doesn't know any better, and it's going to kill someone. And yeah.
What?
There does
very
need to
scary.
be a recall.
What's the point of having DWA lives? This is do not take this personally, Tim. What's the point of having a DWA license for scorpions that are on the DWA list, yet the most dangerous in the world you can just buy and keep and don't even have to worry about a license?
But Scott, this is the only exception to the rule. It's not like there are loads of scorpions that could kill you that aren't on the list. This is the only exception.
Yeah, of course.
Most of the things that could send you to the hospital are on the Boothid family list. I think one of the most venomous scorpions you can keep without having a license is the Nebo Hierotronticus. I think TSS was selling them the other month.
Yeah, they did have the Nebos.
Yeah, that's a bad sting. Even some spinifers can have really bad stings.
Yeah, Nebos are from the same area on the planet as most of what I've just shown you out the DWA cabinet from the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, places like that.
I'm sorry, I just can't get it into my head that the number one.
It's scary.
There is the potential of somebody importing them and then going, "Oh, I've got these. They're from a desert. They're fine. Buy one."
The thing about this particular scorpion is it doesn't look like it's supposed to be that deadly. Normally there's a rule that everyone follows, which is the larger the claws, the smaller the tail, which means the less venomous it is. And if the tail is large and the claws are thin, then the more venomous it is. And this scorpion is an exception to the rule. It has neither large claws or a large tail. It looks just like an ordinary scorpion that could kill you. I've got a Nebo. Should I be worried? Which Nebo is it? There's a few. The one I'm talking about is Nebo Haritronticus. Phil, you've got one rating to give birth.
Yeah, it paired it last year. I remember seeing the videos. It's been a long time coming up, Phil.
If I remember right, I think Phil's paired quite a few.
I took 50 Lyris from a pet shop years ago. They had them as Israeli golds. Damn. Dave.
Yeah, I did the same around 15, 20 years ago. Somebody imported scorpions and said, Tim, can you come and tell me what these are? And they were death stalkers. And he said, well, what am I supposed to do with them? I went, my advice would be go and put them in the freezer. I said, you can't sell them. You've got 50 potentially lethal bugs just sat on your shelf. It's worse than a loaded gun. Guns don't go out by themselves and shoot people. These will. If any of them escape.
Game over.
Is that George? Which is your favourite scorpion?
Especially if it was a child or somebody with a low immune system or something like that.
Which is your favourite scorpion in your collection, George? And if different, which is your favourite enclosure that you've created? I've seen some of your picks and they look great. I think we're just going to put it on George now to get a couple of his scorpions out. What do you reckon, Tim?
Yeah, definitely.
It's time, isn't it? Yeah.
I have no idea what I'd take out. My favourite, oh God, I have no idea. There's so many. My favourite genus is Apis-ophthalmus, which are very colourful species of scorpions. They range from yellow, brown, and red. They're very pretty, very hard to get hold of.
We're not taking no for an answer, by the way,
it's
George.
Not as simple as George just getting them out. It would have to destroy setups.
It's
literally dig animals out.
I keep a lot of things in tubs, but I also keep a lot of scorpions in glass enclosures that are difficult to dig out.
No, Craig. Could you show us one of your setups for a desert species that's very readily available in the hobby to give us an idea of what can be done?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Right.
He can't reach the top shelf because he'll have to stand on the box.
Don't drop it, George. You'll look like a tit.
Yeah, I'll try not to. But I'm on a laptop, not a phone, so it's hard to change the camera. Right. A setup for an arid setup I do. Well, this scorpion lives quite by the mountainside. So I don't know if you can see it like this.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I wonder if the scorpion will come out.
Just puts us to shame, that does. Dave says that's a lovely looking room, George.
Thank you. I don't know if you can see the scorpion at the back.
Yes.
Can you?
Yes.
Very pretty. That's
your carinatus.
Yeah. That is the carinatus. I get inspiration from someone in our group. His name is Lee. And he has amazing enclosures. Lee Benny. I would recommend joining the Scorpion Hobbyist UK group. Checking out Lee Benny's post. He just gets like a piece of wildlife and he puts it into a terrarium. It looks absolutely amazing.
Just put your
it's
group
also on
link back
Instagram,
into the
United Inverts.
Oh, yeah.
Do whatever.
Let's see. Okay.
Or if you could just take us through a couple of setups for various different.
Do you want the setups or the scorpions themselves?
Both.
Which one's what? You want both?
In fact, I'll tell you what, George, seeing as we've waited long enough to get you on, you do exactly what you want and you show us exactly what you want. How's that?
Right. Okay.
He wants to go down and have a cig.
Oh yeah, soon. You've seen in arboreals. You've seen Tim's arboreal setups for his scorpions. Mine are a bit very
Better.
It's gone absolutely crazy with wildlife.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Let me see. And at the back.
Oh yeah.
That's an Epicanthus asper. They're tree-dwelling scorpions. So I have a piece of bark on the side that's horizontal, and I have a vertical piece, so he gets to choose how he wants to sleep.
Is that just a fern that you've got in there, George?
Yeah. And it's grown to this. It like literally comes off the top of the lid.
It looks epic.
Yeah. So with arboreal species, I tend to keep the heat mat closer to the bottom because they're arboreal. But if I won't recommend keeping a heat mat at the bottom for terrestrial scorpions. They like to dig.
No, definitely not.
Scorpion, something I'm looking for. I'm happy just to sit and watch, says Dan. Cheers, Dan. Nessa says asparagus fern. Apologies for the butchering of that.
Asparagus fern.
It is asparagus.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Very good. What's this one? This is another Epicanthus. This is another kind of desert-like setup. Can you see?
That's cracking.
Just simple. It's just very simple. It's a hide with some decorations and rocks. It's very simple.
Literally, when you break it down like that, yeah, but when you look at it and you're not thinking like that, you think, wow, that's awesome.
I suppose. But don't you guys get inspiration when you're doing enclosures?
Yes. Yes, I go when I'm doing spiders, I generally look at the moss and expand it from there. I've got a thing for moss.
I think
love moss.
If you have a tropical species and you're not using moss, you're doing something wrong. You need to use moss.
8 times its own weight in water moss holds.
It is, but not just that.
You want that humidity, use that moss.
You have to. Even for me, if I have a glass terrarium that I want to put a scorpion in, I'd love to have the way that the moss makes the enclosure look. It's aesthetically pleasing to have green moss specifically.
And it pops colours. Any invert pulls across the top of moss, it looks fantastic in pictures, videos, or when you're just sitting enjoying your invert. It makes them really, really pop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thanks to Dave, the whole hobby is now getting it from nature. Instead of doing what we used to do, which is just buy it from sellers, and guess where they were getting it from.
Good thing about scorps is they don't bulldoze your enclosure like tarantulas. Let me stop you right there.
Yeah, they do.
Let me stop you right there. Have you ever owned a desert hairy scorpion?
Oh yes, you can't. Yeah.
Now there's every desert hairy enclosure I have is horrible.
Turned upside down.
There's no point decorating it. Yes, Dave, we love moss. I love moss in particular. In fact, Tim is my own personal supplier of moss. I make him go out into the woods.
It's very true.
Yes, I live in London. I can't find woods with very nice moss, so Tim has to do it.
It's all over the place in Yorkshire.
I do buy moss every now and again because same type of thing. I live in Coventry, and anywhere you walk in Coventry, it's just filth.
Oh really?
Yeah. So unless I get 5 minutes going, at work, and I find myself in the middle of nowhere, I can go and get it. Then I do actually buy it from people that go out into the middle of nowhere and go and get it.
You have to, but the thing is, people like Tim would make fun of me for buying moss when you can just get it for free. But I don't have access
there you go.
to moss. So it has to be
London.
Exactly. This is why I buy mine too. I need to know more invert people in London. Yeah, I'm one of them, but I don't have moss for you. I'm keeping it to myself. Sorry.
See, Leah, who's in chat, I'll buy a lot of moss from her because Sarah's husband Terry goes for an hour's walk into the middle of the Welsh hills and mountains and comes back with it.
Really? Listen,
Yeah,
if there's
Yeah,
Welsh
so
anyone in
you've
chat,
got-
moss.
if there's anyone in
got
chat
nothing.
that's selling moss, hit me up. I will buy all of it from you for good money as well.
George, we'll swap scorpions for moss.
Good money.
So, listen, for me, scorpions come second, moss comes first.
Oh yes, DK. The moss Kirsty's got up in Scotland that hangs off the trees
For moss.
is stunning. Yeah, it's like a sphagnum. I don't think it actually is a sphagnum, but it's actually very wispy stuff that just literally drips off the trees. It's amazing.
I need some. I see some enclosure, and I don't understand where you guys are getting your moss from.
That's a forager.
Don't tell George about Leah. We need her moss.
Who's Leah? Explain it to me. Lucy.
Unusual pets and unusual pets.
Unusual pets.
Yeah, what I'll do, George, is I'll get a personal Facebook up for you, and then drop you a message with it, and give her a PM as well.
Please. Why are you holding
Yeah,
out? I get you, moss. I give you a good price. Yeah, thank you. Has to be green. I don't do pink moss. Sorry. I hate pink moss.
Or dyed moss. Just natural moss as it comes.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I am. The other week, I bought some substrate from Tesco, and it's made my life a living hell for the last few weeks. So the product was, what was it? Leavington, I think. And I found it in Tesco, and I bought it. And apparently, it had like thousands of gnat eggs inside. So I replaced all my substrate with that substrate, and I started to water it. And over the last few days, I've just noticed like an abundance of gnat flies. And I realized it's only in those terrariums in which I replaced the soil. And it's like I lift up the lid and there's like 50 of them that fly out. And I've had to replace all of them, and it's been a nightmare. So I'm going to stick with the substrates I know. I collect from around the
Desert
work when I
species,
can.
the best substrate to get is Habitat leopard gecko substrate.
George, I've just messaged Leah. She said, "Yeah, message her," and I've just messaged her your link to Facebook as well as.
Yeah, awesome.
Even though you look like a playboy on your profile picture.
Oh yeah,
Doesn't it just?
I was in South Africa.
Yeah, on top of an IKEA building somewhere in London. What was the substrate from Tesco? Sorry.
Oh, I bought this organic soil. I think it was called Levington, something like that.
Levington's,
And
yeah.
It was horrible because apparently there was like thousands of gnat eggs inside, and I put it in some terrariums and I watered it, and they just started to. It went nuts. I've had like a hard time trying to control the spread, but I looked up it online, and apparently a lot of people have had the same issues, like with their plants, with the same soil. Yeah, they said please don't use it. Levington is bad. Yeah, it really is horrible. So I don't recommend
using the same issues with Levington's and then Wix's topsoil.
Wix's topsoil.
Yeah, both of those tend to have bits of plastic in them because it's just compost from out your compost bins is where it comes from. And gnats. What I have found though is Westland's topsoil.
Westland's topsoil.
I've started to use that, yeah, and that seems to be absolutely wicked. Leah's in chat now, and she says she's got lots of moss. No worries, it's all the Welsh stuff as well.
Awesome! I will be grabbing some. All of it, probably.
All the New Horizon stuff. Phil says, is that from MK Exotics? Phil. And you're a moderator, Phil, so you could put MK Exotics link into the chat with your discount code if you want as well.
Wetlands topsoil is good, just heavy.
It is a bit. It carries a little bit of sand in it. Not loads, but just enough.
I am looking for a new substrate to use. I need to replace the one I have.
The best top shot you used to get was Wilco's. That was by far the best, but the company went bust.
My Wilco's closed down. So
Yeah.
I tried to find it online.
New Horizon. Ah.
Yeah. It's a struggle. I'm constantly trying to find new soil, like to replace the old ones, just to see, like, it's all about the water retention and which one is better than the other. It needs to hold a burrow, it needs to hold moisture, and it needs to not
produce thousands of flies.
Yeah, please. It's so bad. Even if you contain it, they spread out.
Yeah, I
find most of the cheap potting compost are fine. Yeah, I should have just stuck with what I know. But I saw it at Tesco and it was cheap, and I thought, let me try it. What's the worst that could happen?
A word of caution with potting compost as well. A lot of it has additives added to it to help the plants grow. A lot of chemicals are put into potting compost, nutrients and things. So it's always worth reading the ingredients, see what's on the side of potting compost.
mkexotics.co.uk. Use code Incredible23 for 10% off over orders over 30 quid.
Look at this, George. You're in your element here. All these substrates and mosses.
Yeah. Send them along.
Excuse me. They do plants and all sorts as well, does MK?
Huh?
They do plants as well, MK.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
MK Exotics.
Good point, Osman. Cheapest soil possible. Additives cost money, so less chance of something in it when buying cheapest.
Yep.
Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah. Of course. That makes the sense. Organic. Yeah.
Exotic Enclosures flame treated topsoil is best. Kirsty always goes for organic as well. Branding soils are a scam. The name is what costs you there. Yeah.
Probably. Do you guys
generally with Westlands? I've never found plastics or crap in it. With other topsoil soils, I've found all sorts of.
Isn't that what topsoil is? It's just soil that's gathered on the top, which will have cigarette butts and plastic, and no matter which brand it is, no?
Bits of wire, everything.
I found.
You know, I think green bin tends to be where a lot of it comes from, isn't it?
Mm.
Be careful of organic, as most of it is screen soil. I don't like this. I
think if you've got a soil and it works and your inverts aren't dead, keep using it.
I did. George, do you keep Balfouri tarantulas? I do not own a single tarantula or spider.
Yeah.
Well, right. A lot of you don't know this, but the reason I got into scorpions was because of my dislike of spiders. This is when I was younger. I've changed a bit, but I was on holiday in Greece and I was trying to sleep, and a massive spider. I was only 5, so the spiders were all massive to me. A massive spider landed on my head and I screamed, and I couldn't find it. For about 2 hours, I stayed awake trying to find it, and I couldn't find it. So I was sleeping with my blankets like this, just wondering when I was going to be attacked. And I had a horrible holiday. So my dad liked to watch the Discovery Channel. And one day he called me down and he goes, "George, look at this. What is it?" And there was this massive tank-looking creature with claws and a stinger, like dismantling a spider. I was like, wow, what's that? He goes, "He's a scorpion, George. They killed this spider for you." Oh, okay.
He did that movement, did he?
So
it takes it a knife.
I started liking spiders. I started liking scorpions from a very young age. I never was scared of them. They were kind of like my heroes a little bit. So the reason I don't have spiders is because of my love for scorpions. Although I don't mind spiders as much anymore. I think a lot of them are pretty, especially that little one that you were talking about. I can't remember what it's called.
Caledonia.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Very pretty ones. And there's the amount of coloration and patterns on tarantulas are ridiculous. Plus, there's enough people collecting tarantulas. You don't need another one. At the shows, it's 80 to 90% tarantulas and 3% scorpions. And like 2.5% of those scorpions are on Tim's table. So you don't need another one.
And the ones that aren't on Tim's scorpion are generally identified by yourself or Tim anyway.
Yeah, usually. I'm like, that's not what you see.
I've worked on other tables where Tim's come along and identified them and sexed them and everything.
Yeah. The thing is with scorpions is that the Asian forest scorpions are quite often misidentified. So people try to put different species together thinking they're the same, and then one of them end up dead, and then they come and they go, I don't know what happened. Yes. It's quite difficult to ID them. I think even like with me and Tim, it took a while.
It does take a long while to get your eye in.
Yeah.
But when you know what you're looking for.
How many times, Tim, have you got someone messaging you saying, Tim, I would like to buy a scorpion. Yeah, sure, mate. What would you like to buy? A forest scorpion. Which one? A black one. And you're like, they're all black.
Yeah, we get that quite a bit.
Yeah, but we need to get that too.
Kirsty says, how's the Highland doing?
She's doing really well. Let's have a look. I might even be able to get. She might be out and about now. Most of the porkies are out and about at the minute because it's night time. She's just there.
Let me whack that up on.
Just done a runner down the side.
Hey, Amy. Oh, what beauty.
Yeah, Highland female. I don't think I'd ever get rid of my Porcelatheria. It was the first real invert I ever saw. It was a adult female regalis in a pet shop, probably late 80s. And the guy was poking it with a stick to make it go in a threat pose so I could see the yellow underneath its legs.
Huh.
From that moment on, I've been fascinated with porkies.
Kirsty says she's a beautiful girl.
She is. Very. Highlight of my porky collection, definitely. Much prefer them to Metallica. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different species of porky I own.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You have one, like you have a few shelves dedicated to them.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Don't tell me there's big spiders in Greece. I don't want to be the spider catcher. Yeah, well, I was 5 years old at the time, so every spider was a big spider. But yeah,
Massive spiders, but they're going to be climbing on your face.
There's going to be big spiders in Greece. There's going to be lizards and spiders and flying things that you've never heard or seen before flying at your face. But
you can take one of my UV torches with you. You can find some scorpions on the night time.
Is it bad?
I found a centipede in Rhodes in the hotel room.
In Rhodes? A centipede? God, that's big.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, no.
It was about this big. All I remember is being this tight, this size, and an orange colour. And it was the neighbours that come and got me. I had no interest in inverts at the time, but they knew I'd remove it for them. And I did. We put it in a shoebox and released it onto the corridor. And it went underneath the other neighbour's door, and that was it.
Somebody else's problem.
Well, they kept complaining because we were noisy in the afternoon and what have you. So
So
There
I've
you go.
just released a centipede into the room.
Yeah. We were teenagers at the time. Didn't know any better.
Is that? Do either of you have an adult Thai bush scorpion I could see? As I've only seen pics of babies. Right.
Well, if there's a Thai bush question, George is the best man to answer it.
So that would be Sharilis species. They're quite small. I have something close to it. The only difference is the color. Mine is black, and the Thai bush scorpions are normally brown. All right, let me get it out. Let me see. It's one of these. They're normally quite small.
That's what she said.
Okay. Let me see if I can take this off. Let me show you. Is it focused? That's
Kirsty, George does like a Thai bush, yes.
there.
Is that the
It's very small.
variegatus?
Yeah. That's basically what the size of the Thai bush scorpion is going to be. Okay. I hope this answers the question.
Like I said earlier, small species are really, really taking off at the minute. I think a
Yeah.
lot of it has to do with there's a guy on Instagram and all over the social medias, and he does lots and lots of planted glass enclosures, you know, in the really small little vases and vials. And a lot of people ask me, is there anything I can put in a really, really small glass planted enclosure? And some of the really small species will live more than happily in those for their full lives.
Have you seen the way a lot of people across the border keep their scorpions? It's if the scorpion is this big, the enclosure is that big.
Yeah.
Literally not in almost enough to be able to turn around in. And they do well. It's ridiculous. They breed and they give birth and they thrive, and I don't understand. Why are we doing these large enclosures for the scorpions when all they need is a little, and they're fine with it?
A cricket tub.
It's not even a cricket tub sometimes, Tim.
Yeah, it's those nice little
cricket
square
tub would be like-
enclosures that you hit.
And the stockner that Tim had the last show I listened to.
Those little square things that you hit.
I hate them with a passion. I hate them. Any enclosure that has that little feeding lid,
That little flap.
I hate it because
Nessa says that person might have brought a book out as well.
I know who you mean, but can't think of his name. He's just brought a book out. Yeah, he has. Yeah. Yeah, he keeps lots and lots of really small inverts, snails and isopods and things like that in them.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people are asking for really, really small species of scorpion to put in it. Species like that Scorpius I showed you earlier. I mean, that round tub there is literally 3-4 inch in diameter, and that's got an adult pair in it, and they will live more than happy in that their entire life.
Amy, you don't have to convince Mum, because you can just say that you wouldn't want my giveaways. Buy something off George and Tim, and I'll send you an email like you've won it. How's that? And then Mum can't say no.
I could get some stickers printed. You've won. Congratulations, things like that, and just give them away with scorpions.
Oh yeah, Tim, I didn't tell you. I got my own stickers printed.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get them from Claire?
No, I got them from some website. I can't remember where it was. I cannot remember.
You have to get them from Claire, my friend.
Who the hell is Claire?
Aruna Exotics.
Again?
I'll send you the link.
Better. Okay. That's fine.
Holographic, shiny ones, cheap,
Yeah.
everything.
Claire stickers are awesome.
Why are you not
Well,
telling me
that's
these things?
I didn't know you was getting stickers printed. You've
Yeah.
just told me now.
And a pen.
You just literally said, I haven't told you, but I've had my
Yeah,
own
but you
stickers
should
printed.
preemptively tell me these things.
Yes, sorry, apologies. My bad.
All right,
More
listen,
than
I'm
that.
good. I'm gonna get some moss. Tim, you got stickers left?
Yes,
A lot.
yes.
Okay. Scott, I need some of your stickers as well.
You going to Bristol? Did you say?
No.
There you are,
I'll post them.
Ruler Emporium. Tron's just posted the link.
My stickers in the hobby. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much, Trent. Lifesaving.
Yeah, drop me a message, George. I'll post them out to you.
Yay! Cool. I like how the stickers are specifically for like scorpions and spiders.
Yeah.
Is
I
this
think
where
I've
you
got-
two got yours done? Did you get yours there as well, Scott?
What, from Claire?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Got to run now, guys. Was great listening to you. You guys always new things to learn. Thank you. Hopefully, see you all at Bristol, says Dave. Night, Uncle Dave.
See
Night,
you,
Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, Claire did me some stickers before. The logo. And
Night, camera lady as well, if you're still there.
yeah, George.
Oh, nice.
Glitter, shiny.
I think that's where I got it from. I got it from you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Must have
swiped
been
it
yours,
from me.
isn't it?
That's one of Claire's.
Well, I normally steal things like stickers at your store.
It's nice to support one another in this hobby.
Yeah. George, the first link that I sent you is Leah's for the moss, and the second link is for Claire for the stickers.
Oh, you guys are such lifesavers. Thank you.
If you message either of them and they don't see the message, drop me a message and I'll message them and say,
My
Check
notifications
your spam.
have been a bit crazy this evening, it seems, thanks to you. I've just got lots of requests.
Amy H says, just to clarify, small scorpions aren't small and deadly, right? Is it like a bee sting if you get stung, or are they more likely to pinch you?
Yeah, the smaller
scorpions-
scorpions nearly always use their claws. You'd really have to be putting pressure on its back for it to try and sting you. It's usually a last-ditch attempt to leave me alone type of thing.
Yeah. Tim, they're breeding again.
What are?
I don't know if you can see it.
Like Achilles?
Yeah.
Nice.
Very close. That's a very small scorpion with a bunch of lots of other small scorpions stuck to the back.
Oh,
But I hate feeding things fruit flies. I hate it.
hey Jay.
Well, you was just moaning that you've got lots and lots of gnats. Can't you feed them then?
Too small.
How's Swamadami going on, Tim? Says Oscar.
The swammies are coming along really well. Both females have been paired 3 or 4 times. One of the females is getting really big, so hopefully early next year we should have some captive-bred Swamadamis in the British hobby.
Would you two ever consider doing like a collab on a pamphlet or a book on beginner species, beginner setups, beginner scorpions,
Could, but it's not a two-man job, is it? If Tim wanted to write a book about beginner scorpions, he could just do it.
Hey, Mark.
Definitely.
Mark.
I've seen some of the really bad books that are out there. God.
I think a lot of the information on the internet about scorpions is outdated. So possibly, Tim, should we make a book?
Yeah, it's food for thought.
Yeah, why not?
Something to think about for the future.
I think it could be really handy, especially when you're like explaining to somebody and then you can literally go, well, actually, there's a book.
Yeah. How many people will be willing to read the book rather than asking like a forum or a group like Facebook? I think most people go to the internet for advice now. Nobody's going to buy the book. So even if we release the book, it's not like they wouldn't buy it. They would just go to the internet to find the information. That's what everyone does now. If this was like 20, 30 years ago, yeah, make a book. But
you could do it as a PDF.
Social media is a bit too massive at the moment. The information would have to be on there.
I asked Andrew Smith this very question beginning of the week. I said to him, would you ever make a documentary about scorpions? And he said, scorpions is always a very, very niche market. He said, every time they go on site to find these tarantulas for the new DVDs, he said, we always come across scorpions. He said, literally, we have enough footage of scorpions to produce a DVD. But he said, I just don't think there is a market for it.
The scorpions are second best.
He brought out a book.
I love books.
I believe it was, what year was it produced? 1998. This book, Scorpions of Medical Importance. And he said it was the biggest flop that he's ever produced. He said literally nobody bought the book, which
Amy,
I find
what
unreal. I've had this copy for decades. So they just don't get the same coverage as tarantulas.
That was the year Amy was born. Phil says it's a fantastic book. He loves it.
It is. It's a brilliant book. It's one of the best out there for boothid scorps. Definitely. A really good read. But I'm old-fashioned. I'd much prefer to get a book than
absolutely. I would love
read
to make
stuff off the internet.
I'd love to make a book.
You've got a cracking idea. He says, I disagree. Self-publish a digital-only copy of the book on Amazon for Kindle, etc. If they build it, they will come.
Yeah, that's that's a very, very good idea.
Yeah, if there's
if you could have it, if you could have it on a phone or Kindle or something, then you are in that digital media.
Am I the only one old-fashioned? If there's a digital copy of a book, I want the hard copy of it.
Yeah, same.
I just want to see it.
Same. I mean, these books I have here. These two books.
Said like an audio book or
these
podcast.
Two books are my
you
Bibles.
do it as a podcast.
These two books here are my Bibles. Illustrated Catalogue of Scorpions, Volume 1 and 2. They are, if you can find them, 180 quid a volume.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. But they are by far the best printed works of scorpions on the planet.
The Bibles.
Yeah, I reference those books.
George and Tim podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will just be 3 hours of me calling Tim a cunt, to be honest.
It will, yeah. And asking where his moss is.
Yeah. Where is my moss?
Yeah, but you could do a podcast on each species that you both keep the same species, if you like. So you could both be literally talking about Solanus, and maybe there's some differences in the way you both keep. I reckon it'd be really interesting.
Yeah, probably.
If there's
I
a
feel like
market
I
for
need to
it,
get a
I can
shed.
imagine a couple of hundred people downloading it. Yeah.
Jay says Amazon can also produce the physical version of the book if requested hardback or paper.
Oof.
Why not?
Yeah, that might be something to look into.
Yeah, Tim, let's make a book. We have
Yeah,
support.
let's do a book.
Let's do a book. Let's call it Just Scorpions.
No, we'd have to call it It's a Selenus.
It's a
It's a Selenus by Tim and George.
need to get that tattoo. Where are you gonna have your tattoo? On the wrist?
I'm thinking somewhere on the scorpion sleeve.
It needs to be somewhere where you can show.
Yeah, so I can just
Like
literally go
Amy
like
says-
that, and it says It's a
Harry
Selenus.
says it's annoying at universities, unless it's legislation, they like you to use references going back to 2010 at the earliest.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you can't use a 1998 book as a reference unless it's on the legislation as reference, unless it's republished. There you go.
I guess. Tim and George, I need a first copy signed, please. You'll be the first one, mate. Absolutely.
Bagsy number 2 then.
Huh?
Bagsy the second then.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
So we've gone from publishing to writing to doing sound copies now, all in the space of 3 minutes.
And the podcast.
I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good for the hobby.
Yeah, definitely.
Tim, we can't bring scorpions into the hobby by ourselves. We need to work as a team and shove the scorpions down people's throats.
Yeah.
Make them buy it.
Buy this species, definitely. I
Buy-
don't want that
listen.
species.
If you guys want to support scorpions in general, buy Captive-bred.
Yeah.
Buy anything that's Captive-bred, regardless if it's from Tim or someone else. Buy
Print
Captive-bred.
on demand says for
And
yeah.
if you get emperor scorpions, breed them.
Breed them like there's no tomorrow.
Breed
Like your
them.
life
Don't
depends
just
on
feed
it.
them until they die. Actually breed them. We'll help if you
More
need help.
more interest in the hobby, it'd be good.
Well,
Says
yeah.
Nessa.
Definitely. I'm glad they're
Amy's just realised she's got the Scorpion book as a download. Well, yeah,
getting,
you
the,
can.
getting the spotlight they deserve finally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it was amazing to me when I went to my first show and I saw the amount of tarantulas at all the tables. And that was the first time I saw Tim in person. And I went up to him, not knowing who he was. And I just said,
Yeah, that was C's.
that was Season. I went up to you. I didn't know who you were. And I just said,
Yeah, Mark.
do you know where there's scorpions? And you were like, Bugnut has some emperors. And I was like, cool. And that was it. There was just some emperors on Bugnut's table, and that was it. So I think there needs to be a bit more diversity. Even Lee at TSS said the scorpions don't sell as well as the teas do. So he doesn't bring many of them with him. He brings maybe 5 of each, 10 of each at the most.
There's not normally a lot left at the shows because I tend to go around and buy everything before the door opens.
Yeah, it's true.
Frog says, I've never seen my Asian forest, but it's out tonight. Must have heard you all talking. Amy H. Scott, random question. Is that war going to stay foil? It's not foil. But no, behind me, I don't know. There's going to be stuff going up behind me.
Yeah, it needs some decoration, that wall, Scott.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of my friends says, "Oh, why don't you paint it?" And it's like, well, it's reflective because it reflects the heat. But yeah, I have got some bits and bobs from
Oh, nice.
to go up. Do you know what I mean? So there is some bits to go up. Yeah, definitely.
You're gonna make a video when it goes up, yeah? And give us a little tour.
And not of just the wall. I might include it with something else. Maybe put it into real or something.
This is the wall.
Maybe. This is the wall. It's shiny.
Yeah. this is one. Shiny, no, it has pictures on it.
Using a Greek accent now as well.
I just love the way everybody keeps reverting to the Chris accent.
What's the Chris accent?
The one everybody
Blah,
just
blah,
keeps doing. This wall, it needs something on it.
That's great night. Good night. Tim will join you shortly.
Night, darling.
Thank you for supporting your husband in the way that you do.
Yeah, thank you.
100%. The amount of knowledge he's bringing to us is incredible, and that's down to you saying, go for it, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely.
And probably, and no doubt, supporting him in more ways than what we'll ever know.
My freshly molted Pantherbetus platyoma is out and about walking.
Scouser Scott, when it gets warm, you're going to come out there looking like a baked potato. I work on building sites and HS2 and all sorts of sites, repairing machinery. So I'm slowly turning into one anyway at the moment.
Just to go. I don't think me or Tim have a YouTube channel. Scott does. Scott has scorpion videos uploaded. I know Dave's Little Beasties has scorpion videos as well.
That's a good idea. Scott, you could have a wall hanging, the fabric ones, some cool designs on those, or even custom one with your logo. That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Do either of you have YouTube?
No.
Not yet.
I've been asked on more than one occasion to start producing scorpion videos for YouTube, but there ain't enough hours in the day. The sheer logistics of having to feed everything in this shed is...
Yeah, that's true. Feeding takes priority. Unless you'll just video record yourself while you feed them. But then how entertaining would that be for people? I don't know.
This is me fondling red runners.
Yeah.
Well, you could feed the scorpion while talking about the area it comes from, the temperatures required, breeding, lifespan.
Yeah.
How long it takes them to come off the mother's back to adulthood.
Has to be entertaining. I think the last really entertaining scorpion video I watched was the American guy. Is it Tarantula Collective? I think it was. And he got stung by a blue-toothed scorpion. And he video recorded the reaction of him getting stung and the next 24 hours that preceded as well. I thought the beginning was funny. The next bit, it's quite interesting. Just to see
last time I've seen a video of Richard, he was with what's his name? Tom Patterson over in America, and they were out in the wilderness looking for scorpions. And Tom's doing a bit of filming,
in Peru.
And all you see is something rolling down the hill, which is Richard, because he slipped.
Yeah, fell off a small embankment, didn't he? And
wow.
Yeah, went rolling through the cactuses. But yeah, he got stung by Centuroides gracilis.
Something like that, yeah.
He got a communal of about 5 or 6, I think it was, in an exoterra.
Don't stick your hands in.
Where he put his hand.
Don't stick your hands in. Use a UV light. He didn't see them because scorpions blend in. He didn't see it. He put his hand at the top and it stung him.
I recently posted a video on my Instagram feed of
the scorpions that were blending in. Yeah.
Yeah, the Titius smithy.
Yeah.
And there was 4 or 5 babies on a piece of wood, and you just cannot see them without spot checking with UV.
Yeah. Can scorps climb?
Tim and George, how do we get in touch with you to buy scorpions?
You can reach us both on the Scorpion Hobbyist UK Facebook group. And from there, you can just get in touch with us and message us directly.
Yeah.
There's the link, Strogs. If you go and join that group, alternatively, GeoScorp's Facebook page is George, and Tim Baxter, Just Scorpions, is Tim Baxter.
It is true. Can scorps climb smooth surfaces? No, they cannot.
Glass and plastic, no.
They can't climb the glass.
Glass enclosure, they will usually
Congratulations, Mark, on that as well.
quite successfully climb up the silicon in the corner.
Did I? Oh, I'll just put Amy's Facebook page, Claire's Facebook page, and hold on.
That's not. Scott will have van job. Van job. Is there any basis in truth that UV lights hurt scorpions?
Prolonged exposure,
yeah. It's been proven to weaken their armor, and plus they don't like it.
Literally a few seconds to spot check, no. But if you leave it on for an hour, yes.
Emil Hamilton asked to join. Yes, I will accept straight away. There you go. Welcome to the group, Amy.
Yeah, we've had quite a few requests come through while this has been on.
Yeah, in general, we got like thousands now. It's grown quite a bit.
Yeah, it's coming up to 3,000 members.
It is. Listen, I don't want to toot the horn just because we're managing it, but I'm in other Scorpion groups as well, and nobody knows what they're talking about. You have too many people. You have in those groups, you have maybe like 10,000 people, and among those 10,000, how many people do you think actually know what they're talking about? A handful, 10 or 20 maybe, but it's always the random people that respond and give misinformation, and I see it all the time. I try to comment, but it's a losing battle with so many people. I think with the Scorpion UK group, not just us, but even the other people in it give a lot of relevant information. They're
definitely
very clever people. So not just that, but we have like award winners in the group. We have Mark Stockman, who's like a massive breeder in Germany. We have so many people that know what they're talking about. So especially Tim. He knows the most.
I try.
That's almost 3,000 of those books sold then.
Yeah, I bet there would be quite a few people willing to buy it.
Yeah, have to put it up on the group. Them groups then tend to be really toxic as well. I agree. Yeah, they're very toxic towards newcomers. The people that just say, listen, my scorpion's given birth, please help. Or they just, it's very bad.
Yeah, they just seem to tear them a
there's
fresh
a lot
one.
of what you'd call clicky groups out there, and including chats as well. There's a lot of clicky stuff that happens, but it's all part of human nature, I think.
It's a boss Facebook page, and I've been a happy member since Tim invited me. Some boss pictures and information on a daily basis. I've seen you comment several times on the group, George, but didn't know who you were. As Tim supports you, you obviously know what you are talking about. Well, maybe.
That's
Tim's
an understatement. As we said at the start, Tim's knowledge is here, and George's is here also.
Level pegging.
And this is, Tim's just out there on social media more. That's the only difference between them.
With me and Tim, I'm constantly talking with Tim. Often, like, if I need a second opinion, as I said before, Tim's the first person I'm going to.
Tim? If you need a second opinion, who's the third person that you're going to?
That lad at the bottom there.
Just to put that into perspective.
Right, gotta go. All right, Tarantula J. See you. Have a lovely night.
Thank you for
joining.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to close the stream in a minute, unfortunately.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna go get a shower and.
Yeah. Wait, who's?
It's always
kind of monster
no, that one maybe.
It's always the worst part. There's a couple of guests that I have on, and Tim's definitely one of them, and obviously George now himself. That you get to the end of the stream and you think, "Fuck, I've actually got to stop it," and go. And it is annoying. It is annoying.
But it's been really good, guys.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
But
hopefully
again, Tim,
enlightened a few people and encouraged a few people to have a go at breeding.
Thank you again, Tim, for agreeing to come on. George, appreciate your time this evening, dude. It's
You're
been a
welcome.
long time coming.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.
If I could just ask everybody to join the BTS membership again one more time, it will make a massive difference to the hobby. It really does.
I will subscribe. I will. I promise.
I've joined up. The information on the website is crazy.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
It's
fine.
Yeah,
good.
and you've got a direct link to all the BTS committee members as well. It is, and a connection. It's amazing.
Yeah, like you say, these are the people that literally wrote the books on the tarantulas.
These are the people that sit on the high tables at the hobby.
Yeah.
The spider gods,
Yeah.
and now
literally.
and now the scorpion gods also.
Yes. It's about time we had someone sitting on the scorpion table, Tim.
And when you first start going to the BTS show, you think, yeah, wicked show. What's this membership thing? I'll leave it. And then you start looking more into it, and then you see what it's about, and then you see where the money goes, and it's like, actually, yeah, this is worthwhile. And as we were speaking about at the beginning of the stream, September's journal is going to be containing a piece by Tim.
Scorpion
Tim's one of us. Tim is one of us, and he's managed to get into the committee, and he's also managed to get into the journal. Now that is fucking shit up.
It makes you proud of him, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That he's made it that high.
Scott's invert link to the BT.
It's been a long road, but it's been a good road.
All I'm going to do, Trond, is Google it for you, mate.
BTS membership is definitely worth it. Yeah, I heard that you get free stuff every so often. I don't know how often
it works out to 50 pence a week. I mean, 50p a week for your membership is nothing. What can you get for 50 pence now?
Nothing. 50p buys nothing.
No.
Will the BTS be for scorpions? It's for alien.
Will the BTS be for scorps? Well, I think it was mainly done for the spiders, being called British Tarantula Society.
Literally British Tarantula Society. Yeah.
But yeah, and now scorpions. But the last BTS show, there was all sorts of different types of inverts.
Yeah, there was. There was 100 and I think it was 115 traders. I could be wrong. It might be more, but there was over 100 traders there selling everything from toys to the most expensive tarantulas money can buy.
She was on about the S standing for scorpions instead of society. It was a bit of a joke.
British Tarantula Scorpions.
Yeah, why not?
BTSS.
All right, guys, I'm going to make my way. Lovely to see you and lovely to speak for everybody.
Yeah, seems like a good place to call
it. Thank you, George. Appreciate your time, man.
Welcome, man. Until the next time I see you guys in person.
Take care, brother.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
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 Night, Amy. We've got the Bristol shows on the 28th of this month. Well, fingers crossed, but a few scorpions on that one.
Yeah, week on Sunday.
If you do go there, and if you want to meet Tim in person, Creatures from the North stand is where you'll find Tim selling some of the scorpions that you've bred.
Yeah, always.
Chris, who you saw early on in the night, he'll be there also on the same stand, doing all the mystery boxes. If you don't see Chris, you'll definitely hear him.
You'll hear him before you see him.
Yeah. I'll be there doing a bit of filming, no doubt. I think the wife's coming again. Well, yeah, I am bringing the wife to this one, I think.
She was
umming and ahhing. Sorry?
I said she's very lucky as Tara.
Oh, yeah, of course she is. She is lately, because I've spent a lot of money on bloody isopods just to keep that woman happy.
You mean bloodlight?
Yeah, sacrificed a lot of spider money and stuff like that so she could have a wood lice, but
shocking. Absolutely shocking.
She loves them, absolutely loves them. And Pat Chong, which is supposed to be quite difficult to breed, I think we started off with 6, and she's got something like 30 or 40 of them now.
Nice.
So I'm like, get those rubber duckies and the Jupiter's breeder. That'll
Something
be
I've never kept before.
I think with the isopods, somebody has to get you into them for you to then go, oh, these are cool.
In fact, I think I've got a pot of dairy cows down there.
I don't. Sorry?
I think I've got a pot of dairy cows down there that somebody gave me.
I think Tyler's got about 2,000.
Dalmatian spotted ones.
You got room for 2, Mark, or? Yeah, the dairy cows literally look like Dalmatians.
Yeah.
There's another one, the zebra. They're black with the white stripes. They're a bit cooler than the dairy cows. And hey, Apex, and they breed just as well. They just look a lot cooler.
All right. Yeah.
Some blasted room. Need to get a fly killer. That's next.
Vapona fly strips.
Awesome. I ain't. Does that mean you ain't got zebras, Nessa? Oh, Phil's breeding the red patchung at the moment. Phil, do you want to do a bit of a DNA swap? Yeah, we started off with 6, and Tyra's literally got like 30 or 40 of them. And there's like Phil was saying, in the hobby, they're supposed to be quite difficult to breed, but no, she's got her little secrets that she does, but it works. But my favourite's Jupiter.
Right, I'm going to start off and go get a shower.
Yeah, I had a shower earlier, but I think I'm going to get another one after spending two and a bit hours in here.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've lost 3 stone sat here.
I would like to have lost 3 stone.
It's really warm. Back up to 31 degrees.
Oh, she ain't got the regular. She's got the reds. But yeah, it is time to say goodnight, I think, 10 to 11. If you've been here since the start, thank you so much for your support. We all really appreciate it a lot. If you're new to the channel, you can hit subscribe tonight. Thank you. Honestly, a lot. Really, really appreciate it. Again, I am back to doing streams regular again. We have obviously moved house and sorted this room out, and it's all done now. 1 week in 4, I'm on call with work. So 1 week in 4 going forward, I will miss, but I will get cover. So somebody else will be covering that Tuesday night live 1 week in 4, and I'll put a link to that on the community post on YouTube. So if that 1 week I miss and you guys still want to see a live stream, that live stream will still be there. So I will be back again next week and the week after. But yeah, going forward, because everything's done. Moved out. Jed's done. Happy days. And Tim, thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you for having me.
And again, a massive congratulations on getting into the BTS committee.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Just incredible.
Yeah, I feel it.
Absolutely incredible.
Right, thank you all for joining us.
Scorpion Hobbyists UK again is where you can find Tim and George. If you pop over there and if you want to see what those guys have got for sale, you'll be seeing them posting on there. Drop either of them a message, or drop them both a message, because they're both going to have different stuff as well as some things the same, and see what they've got. If failing that, then pop along to the Bristol show where you'll find Tim on the Creatures from the North stand. Buy some scorpions there. I think scorpions are gaining massive accreditation and interest at the moment, and hopefully we can turn that into a massive snowball and get them right up there with tarantulas also. Yeah. That would be absolutely awesome. But yeah, night everybody, and take care.
See you later.
Night, everybody.